performance last month. Former President Trump tells Fox.
When he started to speak, I don't know, I thought his voice was weak. I didn't know exactly what was happening. It was strange.
Now, President Biden will be under even more scrutiny today, hosting world leaders at a NATO summit in Washington.
California Republican Congressman Darrell Issa on Fox Business.
The president, as he has not been for most of the 3.5 years, isn't capable of being the commander-in-chief.
But White House National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby says that viewpoint is mistaken.
And I don't believe that's the case. We're not picking up any signs of that from our allies at all. Quite the contrary.
The summit runs through Thursday.
That's Fox's Kevin Uretsky. The NATO focus will be continuing to help Ukraine fend off a Russian invasion. A barrage Monday did damage in several cities, killing at least 38 people, some at a Kyiv children's hospital that was bombed. Beryl's now a tropical depression raining down on Arkansas after hitting Texas as a hurricane doing damage, causing flooding, killing at least 7 people in the Houston area and another in Louisiana. There are still more than 2 million power outages in Texas. America's listening to Fox News.
Well, summer's here and the weather is beautiful. Everyone has a favorite outdoor activity: golf, bike riding, bird watching, long walks. Ask 100 people, you'll get 100 answers. But if everyday aches and pains are keeping you on the sidelines, I have one answer: Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. Wherever you're hurting, back, neck, joints, or muscles, in 3 weeks or less, you'll start to feel the difference all day, every day. So whatever you like to do, swimming, pickleball, hanging out in the garden, Relief Factor can help you feel good again and let you enjoy all your favorite outdoor activities all summer long. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
The Morning Extra, only on Extra 106.3.
Morning, y'all. Tuesday is a great day. It's everybody's favorite day, and it's certainly my new favorite day. Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra. Glad that you're up early with us. 404-741-1230 is the number, at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms if you'd like to reach out and get involved in the conversation that we'll be having today. Because, man, it just continues to expand. There's so much to talk about, and it seems like it's nonstop and never ending. How's everybody this morning? You all right? You good?
Yeah, I'm great.
Yeah,
I forgot my shirt because I was supposed to match you guys.
Well,
and it's actually still sitting on my dresser because I took it out to wear.
It was actually your idea, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It looks good. I like your Trash Panda shirt.
Yeah,
great.
Good.
Los brought everyone gifts yesterday after his trip to Huntsville. He brought us the Trash Pandas, the minor league, the AA affiliate of the Angels in Huntsville. And Rhino had this grand plan. He's like, let's all wear our uniform tomorrow. And so me and Joe are in uniform. And
I forgot.
And Rhino forgot.
Well, I did think about it, and then I went, well, all right. I don't know. I had a couple different shirts that were just laying there. I went, all right, I'm just going to throw
Did
this
you get
other
you one too?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did get
All right,
myself
maybe
one.
tomorrow you and I can wear
There
ours.
you go. We'll do alternating.
It'll be
So
like
mine-
Cool Kids versus the...
Yeah,
You
yeah,
too.
exactly.
Yeah, right.
So mine just has a small logo right over, like, kind of the breast area. And then on the back, 4 times it just says, trash, 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 trash.
I like that.
So
Is that like a slogan? Does the stadium announcer say that
yeah, no,
occasionally?
they actually have like a chant where they start just saying trash. It was a fun experience. So
They hit a home run and everybody just starts chanting, trash, trash,
Arms
trash,
in the
trash.
air.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
We need to get out there.
No kidding. Down at Ole Miss, a friend of ours' daughter just graduated Ole Miss this year. And, when they hit home runs, they throw beer. Like, they have a whole section where they just throw up the beer and everybody gets the beer bath. In Huntsville, they do a trash bath. They just throw trash.
All right.
Just takes the garbage
Just
can,
throw trash. Yeah.
shucks it up in the sky.
That'd be great.
I love it. Yeah, it's so good. I was reading that the most stressed cities in America, and Atlanta overall falls in the middle. And I think that's about right. Where Atlanta's with traffic stresses people out. Stuff like that stresses people out. Like for us, the whole weird thing EV thing we have going on in Georgia stresses us out a little bit. But I mean, for the most part, Atlanta is a pretty laid back city, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think Atlanta, compared to other cities that I've been to, and especially recently, even like Denver, you go through Denver, it's not as laid back. I mean, they are very calm people in a laid back, but like everything is just hustling and bustling. Of course, being from New York, it's completely different. But yeah, Atlanta's kind of just a laid back.
That's why I've always loved it. Yeah, I've always loved it.
I don't know about anymore. Now you can't really lay back and do anything without worrying about where a bullet's coming from.
Yeah, maybe Metro Atlanta. Maybe there should be a little more. But Wallet Hub did this, survey of all the most and least stressed out cities, and Atlanta hit back like middle of the pack, and it made sense to me. I was like, it doesn't come off as a super stressful city to live in, or even the Metro. But it's not like Hawaii either, where everybody's just like, cool, dude.
Hang loose, dude.
So it fit. I thought it fit where it landed.
Well, I like this about this city. Depending on where you are and what time will depend on your level of stress.
Yeah, it's traffic, but it's all traffic based. And then they're going to add back. Have you seen this? You probably have. They're going to add back toll lanes on 285 and Georgia 400. Like, we celebrated when we got rid of the toll lanes.
Hold on. What do you mean on 400?
What?
I'm just saying. I was like, 400, I lived that life of going up and down on a regular basis. And when the toll went down, because they had paid for everything, I went, wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What a promise.
We all celebrated. And now they're going to add them back. That which sucks. That's stressing me out this morning.
That is very stressful.
That makes me so pissed off. I hate it so bad.
They got to make up for that gas tax. I
guess so.
They want more money. That's
you're right. You've already paid for this. Your tax dollars paid for this. However, we're going to charge you anyway. What do you think of that?
We got upkeep. We need to keep up.
Yeah. Again, then stop with the taxes that we pay for roads. Stop charging me. If it's a pay lane, then let me pay for it and stop taking it out of my taxes.
Exactly.
I'm fine with the pay lanes, by the way.
You are? I hate them. I hate that. You've already paid for it.
If I just want a certain level of access, which means I'm going to get to drive a little bit faster, and if that costs me 75 cents, then that's what it does. Now, I've never taken one on a regular basis. But it's available, and so it's fine.
I hate it, man.
I've thought about buying that pass that, you can use everywhere you go. Yeah, the Peach Pass that you can use up, easy pass. I just don't think I travel enough, nor have I ever really gotten into a situation where that pass has helped me out or would help me out. Whenever I get stuck in like a long line of traffic, it happens to be in the middle of, or I don't know, down by, where's the place that me and Neil Bortz talked about the other day? Down by 75 and 675 down there. Yeah, the Villages. I meant up here.
The dispensary.
The dispensary. The Villages. Which one?
Well, the dispensary, I'm
talk to you at 725, Neil.
But I only get stuck in traffic when it's like it gets down to 2 lanes and there's an accident or something. I never really, we don't travel, though, in those times where 5 o'clock, I come down 75. I do it at 75.
Yeah. So,
the speed limit's 70, and 9 is fine.
Yeah, 9 is fine. That's unless you're coming out of Augusta, and then they pulled me over for 9. Now they just gave me a warning, but they did pull me over. I remember asking that fellow when we were at our Back Your Blue event.
Yes.
I was asking every police officer that went up there, is 9 fine? Do you need to let's make sure we know this.
I love how they give us the wink of just don't go too fast. And too fast basically says 10 miles an hour.
That's exactly right. 10. Fine, you're fine. 9, you're fine. 10, you're mine. Right? That's what they always say.
Yep.
Anyway. All right. Morning Xtra, Xtra 106.3. So, KJP, boy, she had some splaining to do.
What a tough day for that woman.
And you knew it was coming. That's the crazy part. You knew the questions were coming, and she was not prepared for them.
Very basic, direct question.
Wait. Hold on. Wait a second.
8 times, or at least once, in regards to the president specifically.
Hold on a second.
That's what you should be able to answer by this point.
Wait, no. No, wait a minute. Ed, please.
Ed?
A little respect here, please. So, every year, around the president's physical examination, he sees a neurologist. That's 3 times, right? So I am telling you that he has seen a neurologist 3 times while he has been in this presidency. That's what I'm saying. I am telling you that he has seen them 3 times. That is what I'm sharing with you, right? So every time he has a physical, he has had to see a neurologist. So That is answering that question. No, it's not. No, it is.
No, it doesn't.
You're asking
Dr.
me.
Kennard, come to the White House.
But I also said to you, Ed, I also said to you, for security reasons, we cannot share names. We cannot share names. We have to.
Others he would have met with.
They just continue on just arguing and bickering back and forth, and she never addresses the other 5
So
times.
this goes back to, and we had talked about it briefly on the show yesterday. So Alex Berenson had the story, the former New York Times writer, about the Parkinson's expert that had visited the White House a multitude of times.
Dr. Conrad.
8 times during a short amount of period of time. And he had the White House logs the same way that we had the ones when Fonnie Willis was going to the White House. Legally, they have to have this posted. We talk about the trips to Delaware that the president has had on a regular basis for treatment. Well, apparently, they messed this thing up because that was all anybody wanted to ask about. New York Times then ended up basically stealing Berenson's work and put it out there and just had the whole story of you have to answer for why. Because there's only like one 80-year-old working in the White House. Why is this one doctor showing up this often to the White House?
I found it interesting, too, because yesterday on Clay and Buck, they had everything going with Alex Berenson. They're in the middle of interviewing him, and they said, hold on one second, this just broke. The New York Times now is going ahead and corroborating.
It was like at 2 o'clock somewhere, and I heard that too.
Yeah, so it was very... so if you're listening to Extra 106.3, you were getting the story before the story actually broke from somebody else who obviously...
we did it at 7 a.m.
And we did it at 7 a.m. So they've been on top of this for a while, but this isn't the first time. Listen, this entire administration, including KJP, have lied about his ability already to do the job and telling us that everything was misinformation. They've been misled. CBS is Ed O'Keefe, by the way. That's the man that she was talking to. This wasn't Peter Doocy, like the left is trying to put out there that the this extremist MAGA extremist media is attacking Karine Jean-Pierre. Number one. Number two, this has nothing to do with the color of her skin, so stop playing the game of they never did this to Sean Spicer, Sarah Huckabee, and white people, only her. This is...
She's the only one that gets asked challenging questions.
I think it's a fair question. You're gonna get challenged, and if you say that none of those people during the Trump administration got challenged by the press, are you kidding me? That's why they were called the fake news for so long. It's too bad that there is a disrespect and you cannot talk, but the fact of the matter is this: they were not told the truth. This is the press corps that was kept away from the CNN debate and was told they couldn't go in. They've been treated differently by this administration, and they're getting frustrated.
We talked about how the president had he was going to have his daily briefing at 10:45. Okay, that was the one appearance he had. You then had Joe Biden go into 3 different places. All right, so that was the president's day. All right, one daily brief, that was it. And we talked about how KJP was going to have the 1:30 presser. That thing went completely differently once the news finally broke out there into the wide open that why is there somebody from Walter Reed Hospital whose job has been to deal with people who have advanced Parkinson's and have issues along those lines, something that we had brought up. Why has this person been to the White House this many times? And she simply just did not have an answer.
Was because she can't tell the truth.
No.
Once you've ingrained and lied for so long, one admission of truth just uncovers the rest of the lies.
And she tried to make it out to say, like, no, just this was like standard. He's had regular physicals, and it did not explain this many visits during this short of a time.
I'm just so irritated, Rhino, with the media acting like they're flabbergasted
just
all of a
finding
sudden.
out.
Yeah, just finding out, as if they've not known this forever, because they have. They didn't report on it because it's their guy. Now they look like a-holes and idiots and people that aren't capable of doing their job, and so now they're acting like they're all mad and angry. You've known the whole time.
I kind of thought about it the same way you did, maybe a little bit different in the regard that this is their fault. Like you, I believe this is their fault. They believe everything that the Democrats continue to tell them. They don't do their research. They don't go in and say, or they don't even use their own eyes, right?
They choose to not do.
Right. Yeah. So this is their own fault for allowing her to continue to lie. And then when you decide all of a sudden, hold on, we've been lied to enough. You weren't lied to. The videos speak for themselves. Some of them are on CBS. Some of them are on ABC. Some of them are from the White House. You didn't do your research into it. Alex Berenson was able to find out, and he doesn't even work for the New York Times anymore. You've known this for so long. This is your fault as the media because you choose not to actually challenge. And because you don't challenge, when you feel duped after writing BS story after BS story and covering for this administration, now you're mad because, oh, we look like idiots? Yes, you look like idiots because you did the work of the communist.
We are now about 2.5 years removed. We had it as a station promo. And the joke was, I talked about watching a Joe Biden speech when he gets in front of the people, even when he's on teleprompter. It's like watching a kid swim and you're not sure he's going to make it to the other side of the pool.
Right.
It's like you just don't know that he's going to, and you're like, uh-oh.
Lifeguard's on the edge, ready to jump in.
So if we're talking about this for 2.5 years, the idea that the media is somehow flabbergasted, as if they went along with this for so long, and then it turned into, in the last 10 days, oh, it turns out those right-wingers were really serious and were right about how cognitively in decline that this man is. How did you not see it?
They did.
They had
their
to.
Guy. They just didn't want to report on it.
Just didn't want to talk about it.
Because it's their guy.
But they're so flabbergasted. Like professionally, they look at it as, oh my God, I can't believe I was lied to. I'm like, you have been getting, you're part of the propaganda.
You knew it the whole time. They were afraid if they told the truth about their guy, it would help Trump. And that's the end of the story. There's nothing more than that. That's what it is.
Well, they're the same as the Democrats because they're obsessed with their own power. And this happens with a lot of writers. Even in the sports industry, they get obsessed with being that guy. Now, I will say this. Sports guys are way better than some of these press people are, but they're holding on to their power. They like being able to have that little badge that says, I'm part of the press corps of the White House. They like being able to have that access to them, so they'll do the bidding instead of actually doing their jobs. This is why there is not really very many journalists out there anymore. And you see Peter Doocy, he asks the hard questions and they turn it into a joke and then everybody turns on him. Well, guess what? CBS, now it's your turn. It's your turn to deal with the liars that we've been dealing with when we're trying to ask questions, and legitimate questions. We asked about masks. They don't work. We asked about Fauci. Well, why did he say they didn't work? You've been doing this for 4 or 5, 6, the media since 2015.
Are liars. That's it.
That's it.
There's nothing more. They lie to you on a daily basis.
Fox News is included in that too.
Absolutely. Absolutely they are. The mainstream media will lie to you. I have no reason to lie to you. I mean, I just tell you what I think about what's happening in the world. Same with Rhino, same with Lowe's. It's as simple as that for us.
Sidebar?
Yeah.
Sketch went ahead and admitted it was all him.
Yeah, we were watching that this morning when we came in.
Look at there.
Yeah.
So we've had some truth telling going on.
Do you think that that's going to help his cause?
I don't know, brother.
Oh boy, I bet he'll get a whole new group of fans now.
I bet he will. I bet.
By the way, if you're just now checking in, Sketch is a social media influencer, and it was found that he was involved in
gay porn.
I didn't realize, I thought this was one of our things, and then I see Colin Rugg put up the video of this poor kid.
Yeah.
And look, this kid
the video?
No.
No, him basically admitting to this was me.
Wowzers.
That's a tough moment for this kid, and I will give that kid credit. I watched the video, and he owned it from the beginning.
That's why intern Andrew had a single tear.
Yeah.
Just right off his face.
It was pretty sad. I was struggling.
Yeah.
Did you cry a little?
No.
He almost cried.
No. He came right out and said it day of. Laid it all out.
He got ahead of it. At least he's better.
Our entire production room had this moment of he really did do it. They had that moment. They had to kind of get that resolved amongst themselves.
That's right. Morning Extra and Extra 106.3.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines. Presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Here are your top stories in the state of Georgia for today, Tuesday, July 9th. DeKalb County fire officials are currently at an apartment complex on Snapfinger Woods Drive investigating a fire that left one man dead. Investigators believe the fire started in a bedroom of the apartment. They found a disabled man in his laundry room and rushed him to the hospital where he later died. The cause of the fire remains unknown. Hall County deputies are looking for 20-year-old Zachary Rutledge of Winder after he went swimming with his friends at haunted Lake Lanier. Rutledge went missing after his two friends lost sight of him at Burton Mill Park on Lake Lanier. Deputies say it is possible Rutledge swam back to shore and left the park, but no one has heard from him. And in sports, it took 11 innings for the Braves to secure a win against the Arizona Diamondbacks last night. Catcher Sean Murphy hit a game-tying home run in the 9th inning, and Marcell Ozuna drove in the game winner, giving the Braves a 5-4 victory. Charlie Morton will be on the mound for Game 2 tonight. The first pitch is scheduled for 9:40. You can catch all the action on our sister station, 680 The Fan.
When we come back, will Biden be the nominee a week from now? Next on Extra 106.3, Tug, Rhino, and Los. Download the app. It's the best way to listen. Get that free for Apple and Android. Wherever you download your apps, just search for XTRA 106.3 FM.
The Kimmer Show is only live on Extra 106.3 every weekday afternoon on your drive home.
Every single example is something that happens to show the badness of Biden getting away with it. If you put a Republican in there, no matter who it is, they're going to cream him. That's what I mean by fixed election. There's no chance if the media and the Department of Justice and social media are all against you.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
I got a friend I need to introduce you to. His name is Chuck. Chuck owns Central Heating and Air Conditioning. He is an expert when it comes to HVAC. He's Atlanta's carrier expert, as a matter of fact, and his team at Central Heating and Air Conditioning have been servicing Atlanta HVAC systems for like 70 plus years. Dude knows the business. He understands what has to happen to make sure your home is comfortable. In the summertime, in the depths of the heat, the Georgia heat that we have, and it will continue. And, oh gosh, probably through September at least. It'll maybe start cooling down by the end of September into October. So the point is, my friend Chuck can take care of your system. It does not matter if it's a carrier system or not. Now, they replace with great carrier systems. They're your Atlanta carrier experts at Central Heating and Air Conditioning. But if your system is not a carrier system, they can service any system and get it back up and running the way it used to. And then while you're at it, get a maintenance agreement. That way you keep that maintenance up and your system lasts as long as it possibly can, because those things are expensive. Let's not pretend they are. And if you have multiple, holy smokes, it's so important to maintain the system well enough and get it fixed. That way your family doesn't suffer. Let me introduce you to my friend Chuck. Chuck and his team at Central Heating and Air Conditioning can take care of you and your heating and cooling needs at your home. Central Heating and Air. It is centralheat.com. Their number, 770-GET-HEAT.
Convenience is defined as the state of being able to proceed with something with little effort or difficulty. Well, at RBM of Atlanta, we embody this philosophy. Meet our Mercedes-Benz pickup and delivery service. It gives you back time and money. Does your Mercedes-Benz need service? If so, we'll pick up your vehicle that's requiring service from your home or office and bring it back to our dealership for the required service. With over 100 appointments available every weekday, over 50 appointments on Saturdays, and more than 200 courtesy vehicles in our fleet, we're here to serve. We'll work around your schedule. We're here to save you time, energy, and money. RBM of Atlanta is a J.D. Power 2023 Diamond Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience and Georgia's only 9-time Mercedes-Benz Best of the Best winner. We're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Pickup and delivery service restrictions do apply. Ask your service coordinator or service advisor for details.
Well, Sally, thank you for your time, but unfortunately, we can't offer you the position.
But why?
Well, we got the results of your background check, and we saw some red flags.
Like what?
Apparently, you were accused of dog-napping a Chihuahua named Mr. Cha-Cha.
Mr. Cha-Cha was my soulmate.
At Horizon Background Screening, we find things that other companies don't. That's why companies that use us make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com.
A musician with technical knowledge can play all the right notes, but one who cares enough to play from the heart gives music soul. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking, because when you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Start feeling unstoppable. Visit truist.com/care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
It's the unsung hero of your home, your garage door. You never think about it. You just hit the button and it opens until it doesn't. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. So you're ready for a new garage door. At All Four Seasons, we offer fast service, affordable prices, and a huge selection of styles, colors, and custom features. Improve your curb appeal, lower your energy bill, secure your home, and increase your property value. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
You may have seen the Bortz billboard all across town. Let everyone know Bortz is back and his new home is Extra 106.3.
Tug, Rhino, and Losa on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. So much to talk about because there's just so much chaos in the Democrat Party. There's so much chaos surrounding the president, Joe Biden, which we've been led to believe is just fine. You listening know that that's
great.
not the case. Everybody that has eyes that can see and ears that can hear.
One bad day, Tug. Stop it.
No,
Stop it.
Not okay.
Just one bad night.
And then there's craziness going on in this country, and everybody's trying to figure out what's next.
Well, are you guys believers in that this is all done with? Because you have a portion of people that won't go on the record. The Sunday shows were pretty interesting to see no Democrats showing up on them to back Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that spoke
Clyburn
a lot.
dropping out at CBS. You had nobody on Fox News
I thought
Sunday.
that spoke volumes about what's going on.
I really did too. And then when you start to hear that White House officials, when I hear that Democrats in states are now backing off, that's just a down ballot trying to save their jobs. We've seen it here when Raphael Warnock said, hey, President Biden, don't come down here right now. I just don't need your support right now. But now that you're starting to see senior advisors, people that normally do that press circuit that Carlos is talking about, saying, I don't want to be a part of this, something's happening. They're trying to scramble right now to figure out, how do we replace this man? That debate was that bad. Think about history that was made that day of that debate. Have we ever seen anybody fall apart in one debate?
Well, but you knew it was coming because there's no way he could hold it together.
Right. We saw it coming.
Outside of breaking into a hotel, I don't think we've seen something so massive in politics that changes the scales this fast, this quick. And again, we're living in a different time that information moves so quickly and people make up their minds so fast. Within 48 hours, you had the entire Democrat Party going, oh my God, we have a problem. Within 72, 96 hours, it turned into, we have to bail on this person. And the weird part is that the Democrats that are still backing it are the ones that are being left behind here.
Yeah. No, you're right.
The power brokers have already decided what's happening.
They've moved on. You're exactly right. But the problem is Joe Biden legally has all the cards in his favor. He could lay them down and play them if he is not strong-armed, and that's something that we discussed a little bit earlier.
He's going to be strong-armed.
Are they going to say, hey, dude, we're going after your son. We're going to show everything? Because they know.
I don't even think it's about his son. I bet
or
it's
him
more
too,
about.
yeah.
I bet it's about Jill and him.
Yeah, could
okay.
be.
I bet it's about
the doctor that's accused of doing business with him.
Right. It's about that. It's about all the lies that they use to hide his, number one, his decline, but number two, to hide what's going on in Ukraine, to hide those business dealings with China, to hide all that. Hunter Biden is not a concern. Whether they tell you the love of a father, I don't think Joe Biden or Jill Biden care at all about what happens to Hunter. I'm sure there's a little bit of a heart that beats for him, but not much. They're more concerned about them. And that's where I think that the Democrats and the powers that be, the ones behind the scenes, say, hey, this is too important. We got to at least save those down ballot elections. You got to step aside. I just don't think Kamala's the right answer for him. I don't think she can win either.
So when we had our show notes, I referred to this as the fear bunker. Okay? We are in 1945, Germany, and it's Adolf and it's Eva Braun, okay? You now have a scenario where it's Joe Biden, it's Jill Biden, it's Hunter Biden, and they're keeping everybody else out.
Yeah,
the Axios report about how they're secluding him and they're going to run no matter what. The enemies are at the gates, and here's the part about it. It's not us.
No, it's their own party.
It's their own party. We're not the ones with the pitchforks and the torches. They are. They're the ones trying to take down the American president. And whether it's the donor class or whether it's the establishment Democrats, everyone within that party is aiming at Joe. And Joe and his family have decided that the best way to avoid prosecution and everything else is to hold on to the bully pulpit.
The donor class, though, Rhino, and the establishment are one and the same.
Yeah.
Those people are... I mean, they're hand in glove.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So when that starts turning,
money speaks to the Biden family,
but to everyone
and to everyone.
And that's, money's corrupting.
Republicans,
money's corrupting.
The whole establishment. Money talks. None of them actually, are there to do the job for the constituents. They've proven that time after time after time. They're there to get wealthy. Joe Biden's become wealthy because these people have lined his pockets. If these people speak, he doesn't have a choice but to listen. He could be as ornery as he wants, and he can do whatever he wants. Jill will fold. Hunter Biden, what a joke. First of all, the fact that he's like, I never deal with my son in business, but yet you have him to help you with your campaign. Come on, we're not buying any of your garbage. I don't even know where Hunter is. I don't know what he's up to. I love my kid.
Now he's your closest advisor.
Yeah, now he's here.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But here's the problem. I don't know what they're going to do, because right now you have to just kind of go, hey, let's punt. Let's punt. Because they don't want Kamala Harris as the next president, regardless.
Well, they couldn't get her elected anyway, even if they did want her.
They'll never get her elected. They do not like her. The constituent, the base that they're going after, and they continue to pander to, they do not like her. Most of America doesn't like her. I just can't imagine her being the candidate. They have to switch both out. I just don't know how they're going to do it. And Gavin Newsom, that's somebody that, like, when you look down their bench, who are you going to call in? Janelle and I continue to go on the Wes Moore out of Baltimore, Maryland. That guy is going to be the next superstar in the Democrat Party. Hakeem Jeffries, that's the socialist they love. I don't think he translates well, but I know Kamala Harris can't do this job.
No, she can't. And it's fun. Go ahead.
Well, just the interesting aspect is that, and we brought it up last week, because it's only one term, whoever's running, as much as we all are focused on 2024, the race again begins in 2026. So if you're Gretchen Whitmer, if you happen to be Gavin Newsom, if you happen to be somebody who's aspiring to that role, you're only basically waiting about 18 months to run again. And you don't have the stigma of everything going on right now. So whoever I believe is offered up is not going to be one of the headliners.
No,
it's not going to be one of the stars.
Sink their ship?
Why would you sink them?
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Why would you waste that political capital?
And this is the crazy part about what has gone on in politics. When you lose an election for president, typically you're done. And right now, you have Donald Trump as popular as he's ever been when it comes to polling.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah,
I think it's a little bit of a different scenario though, because like Mitt Romney, we ran, lost, done. You know what I mean? John McCain lost, done.
Right, but how
Trump's already been president though? I think that's the little bit of a difference.
But how crazy does it have to be Because remember, you've got a lot of one-term presidents, and they were not able to run again. They couldn't build up the popularity. You have a scenario where a guy who was left for dead. How bad do you have to be under the Biden administration to have somebody who lost an election be in control as of right now?
Be in control just from losing the election would be one thing, too. But also after you've weaponized government against him and you've done everything you can to tie him up in court, take away any kind of campaigning and money towards campaigning that you could, Donald Trump, this is a movement. I mean, I've said it from the beginning. This is a movement that's going to continue down. And now they have to figure out, we're not going to win the presidency. They already know that. So I agree. Why waste a candidate? I don't believe they believe in Gavin Newsom as much as the left thinks they believe in Gavin Newsom. Remember, this man was supposed to be, hey, DeSantis Newsom, this is huge. Let's have a debate. And then gets crushed. He loses to Adam Carolla in the debate. I don't even think they want him. So maybe they sacrifice him. But at the same time, they only focus right now for them is, oh my gosh, we could lose the House and the Senate along with the presidency. We got to get down ballot, which is why they're all jumping ship now. They are trying to save their job saying, hey, I didn't know that he was this bad off. You're lying, number one. But hey, save my job. I'm going to make sure that we never allow this to happen again.
The legal ramifications will be interesting, too, to see how this shakes out. Because, again, going back, Biden has all the cards. Unless they force him out by saying we're going to uncover everything that you've done, we're exposing you as the fraud you are, as the person that sold out the country, the person that is in bed with China, and they could absolutely show all that. That would make him step aside, I do believe, and then that leaves Kamala Harris. Where does that put the Harris ticket? Who is the VP?
Yeah.
Is it a Gavin Newsom? Gavin said he had no interest in running in an open convention.
Or they could just open the door to Air Force One and tell him the stairs are there. Yeah. And not actually put the stairs up. They could trick him into do his own demise, really, at this point.
Like Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah. Like tell him, hey, here, take a picture of the podium, be like, the podium's here, and then it not really be a podium. Just like a room they lock him in.
Right. We don't know where
he would never. Hell, I don't know. He's AWOL.
He's just AWOL.
But again, let's point this out. Joe Biden holds all the cards right now. And really, unless there is something they can hold over his head,
which there's plenty.
And this is where I guess I keep going back to.
They expose themselves likely by doing that too.
I keep going back to this in my mind. If you're so concerned about, hey, Joe, we got this and that on you. Mm-hmm. All right, well, if you've got dementia and Jill ain't really worried about it, like, oh, you're going to lock up my husband? Whatever, let's run.
Sure, run it.
Hunter's already been convicted. Yeah. Whatever, let's run.
Yeah.
You know, like, what is the pain point?
What could get worse? Like, could it possibly get worse, is what you're saying?
And if you want to appeal to, hey, Joe, you've been a good Democrat for 50 years. You have done, but the party is going to be better off if you move on. I don't think Joe's ever been about anything other than Joe Biden.
Yeah, he doesn't care about the. Yeah,
I don't know
think he doesn't care.
You know, what are you going to appeal to?
Or maybe
Jill doesn't care about anything except for Joe Biden's power.
Maybe he did care at some point, but does he care now?
No.
And when the spotlight is on you and your feet are to the fire, how loyal are you to the party that's turning on you?
Oh, they're turning on them quick, just like they do to their own all the time. They eat their own. That's what communism is all about. But I think that he is so corrupt and he is so worried about what would come out if he does even remember what he's guilty of. But I think he steps aside because they tell him to. There are big powers there that do have the ears. Jill is only out of control because they've allowed her to be out of control for this long. I don't care what she says, what kind of power she wields. She doesn't wield the same amount of power as the money guys, the people who are funding everything, the George Soros of the world, all the big ones.
But legally they do.
Doesn't matter what legal. Legal this, legal that. When it comes to the Democrats, legal doesn't mean anything.
I know what you're saying.
They circumvent the law.
Sure they do. But I'm saying, though, if Joe Biden wants to cause a stink and Jill wants to cause a stink, they absolutely can. They can hang on to everything that they want to.
They're going to get Clinton.
Oh, and that's possible. But it would have to be done that way.
You would have to push a certain pain point. And I don't know if you're telling me that you're willing to march out your husband, who clearly is in decline, and you're willing to put him on a stage and have him embarrass himself for 90 minutes in front of 53 million people. And then you're willing to take him aside and go, you did so good, Joe. You answered all the questions. You took care of everything. Yeah. If you're willing to do that, then what is the pain point that's actually going to make you ditch out? Because this is not going to be on Joe.
You're assuming that she's willing to do it and not being forced to do that. Remember, she had to go from a debate and pretend everything's fine. She's being told what to do, how to handle him, how to be the strong Biden. I believe that she's obsessed with the power because that's the only reason she'd agree to continue to do that. But they got plenty on her as well. So she's doing their bidding. She hasn't been out there. Look, the Waffle House thing happened the same exact night. The next day was the same exact story. You did great. You answered all the questions. She was still playing the game. Today, they sent her to Columbus.
Yeah, man, I'm not convinced that Jill, because she has all her faculties, is going to just roll over. I don't believe that's
what
the
I'm
case.
curious about. If she doesn't have a pain point?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what would be the one thing that
she's going to go up against all those powers that actually got them the power? I don't believe it.
That's curiosity.
She's playing the game until they tell her she's no longer allowed to play the game.
But that's why they're insulating themselves. Again, I call it the fear bunker because it's the fear bunker. They've decided
they don't know who to trust.
Power until the end.
Yeah, they have no idea who to trust.
We're going to tell everybody that you're fighting. They're telling and this is why I think what's going to be interesting to watch over the next week to 2 weeks. Now that you're sitting back and seeing how all this is playing out, and all the enemies are at the gates, and they're part of the party, and they're at the gates. Watch how many people leave the White House.
Oh yeah, people just jumping ship, and understandably so. Good Lord, who'd want to be there for the fallout? Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. When we come back, Alex Berenson has exposed the Dems and the leftist media for being the complete frauds that they are. Next on Extra 106.3. The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Tug, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
If you intend to vote Democrat in the next election, if you intend to vote for Joe Biden, just who are you really voting for? Barack Obama? Again, a lot of people think that's the case. George Soros? That's somebody that hates America almost as much as Obama did. This is a very dangerous election, my friends.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Get ready. Diamonds Direct will forever change the way you shop for jewelry. With over 80 years experience in direct sourcing, Diamonds Direct is finally opening in Atlanta. Customers across the Southeast know Diamonds Direct for their unbeatable selection and prices, but return again and again because of their unparalleled customer experience. The experts at Diamonds Direct are your advocate in the dizzying world of diamonds, ensuring you are nothing shy of confident in your purchase. How do they do it? With the best selection, the best quality, and the best price. In fact, Diamonds Direct guarantees they won't just meet any local price, they'll beat it. So if you can dream it, Diamonds Direct can deliver it. Build your own engagement ring, tap into their custom design studio, or choose from hundreds of ready-to-wear styles. No other jeweler can maximize your budget like Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct, coming soon to Buckhead and ready to amaze Atlanta with the best selection, the best quality, the best price, and the best people guaranteed.
Neil Bortz here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPs.com.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for the weekly radio show Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guest is Nellie Miles with the GBI. Tune in on Saturdays or catch up on all past episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
Have you considered securing your family's future, protecting your hard-earned assets, navigating complex legal matters with ease? Nelson Elder Care Law is here to guide and empower you and your loved ones. As a family-owned and family-focused business, our mission is to exceed your expectations, offering absolute assurance and peace of mind. With our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust and expertise in customized estate planning, Medicaid crisis solutions, probate administration, guardianship, and conservatorship, Nelson Elder Care Law protects what matters most to you. Imagine a team dedicated to safeguarding your legacy every step of the way. Our flat fees ensure transparency, and our customized plans prioritize your family's specific needs. Are you worried about protecting your family and your legacy after you're gone? Let us help you ensure you're absolutely protected from whatever curveballs life may throw your way. Schedule a complimentary legacy planning meeting with our legal team in Marietta or Woodstock today. Contact us at 678-250-9355 or visit at nelsoneldercarelaw.com.
Hey guys, I'm Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly. Have you heard the buzz about Seeds of Excellence Christian Academy?
Thanks, Tara. I'm Dr. Eugene Wallace, CEO and head of schools of Seeds of Excellence Christian Academy in Austell, Georgia. We are Christian, scholarly, affordable, and relational. Seeds of Excellence is committed to nurturing the whole child, spirit, mind, and body. From daily Bible classes to weekly chapel services, advanced technology, world languages, fine arts, athletics, national competitions, and a dedicated team of great professionals, our scholars from 6 weeks to 8th grade receive quality care through a premier education grounded in Christian worldviews. By blending the Abeka curriculum with Georgia state standards, we offer a comprehensive and faith-based learning environment that equips our scholars for success. We are thrilled to partner with Our Town Monthly. We want everyone in the community to read all about us.
You're right, Doc. Seeds of Excellence is a perfect fit. Friends, explore SOECA.net and experience the difference today.
The Morning Extra. Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, The Kimmer Show, Jesse Kelly, Jimmy Fela, and Guy Benson. The biggest lineup of conservative voices in the South are on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra 106.3 app.
Tug, Rhino, and Los on The Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. Good morning. Good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
Where did that come from? I don't know. It just jumped out to me, but I've heard that before. I feel like it was on a movie or a cartoon or good morning. That was something that was a thing like forever and ever.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from.
I have no idea either. Like it just hit me, and it's not mine. It's
it just pops out every once in a while.
Yeah,
morning.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from, and if you do, maybe call us this morning. Let us know. 404-741-1230. One thing I do know is when my wife and I said this yesterday, when we were watching the debate, my wife looks at me and says, Joe Biden's performance tonight reminds me of my dad, who is suffering from Parkinson's disease. So Sunday night, when I read Alex Berenson's report that that a Parkinson's doctor had been to the White House 9 times, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, this has come full circle, this conversation. Alex Berenson, dude, is a stellar journalist. He's not one of these clowns that get on TV and say, they didn't tell me the truth. They knew the whole truth the whole time. Berenson's just willing to report it.
I love the fact that he went after the New York Times yesterday when the New York Times were breaking the story. The amount of times that this Parkinson expert has been over to the White House to work with someone. Berenson had that over the weekend. And he immediately pointed out yesterday when they stole his story, stole his reporting.
4 days late.
He was like, yeah, don't do this to an investigative journalist. This is what he does. And so, remember, he was the pandemic's wrongest man, according to The Atlantic.
Yeah.
And it turns out all of the stuff that he was getting into was, about 95%, 90% correct. This is somebody that when you talk about who are like the last bit of journalists we have, all right, here's one of them. Because, by the way, he's not like he was like a Trump voter or anything else like that.
No, that's the thing. And you don't have to be
He's
to tell
just
the truth.
a down-the-middle sort of dude who, the more that you have so many of these crazy stories, the more he recognizes, why do you keep censoring me and why do you keep stealing my stuff?
because they are not journalists. They are propagandists. They have a side to promote. They don't have a story to tell. They have a side to promote. I think it boils down to that. I can't think of anything else that the media does ever that they're telling you the truth. Maybe this is just an anecdote that doesn't give you the whole story, but it kind of does. It kind of goes in the same vein. It's like remember when the weather people used to have the green, like the country would be in green and it would have the temperatures. And then one day they were like, hey, what if we turned it red and talk about climate change? Nothing's changed. The temperatures are all the same, but we're going to present it in a scare you to death kind of fashion. That's what all this crap reminds me of.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's just trying to control a narrative so they can continue to, influence these elections. Let's be honest with who the media is and what corporations own the media and what is at play for
They're
a
leftists.
lot of them.
All of them.
All of them are leftists, except for today, to the leftists who are now mad at the mainstream media for attacking one of their own. This is exactly the game that the left is going to play. Come on. They then have to follow up with, hold on, Kevin O'Connor, a doctor who also is in business with the Biden crime family, with Ukraine and a bunch of Burisma money, has just given you this write-up that he's fine. Even though there's no cognitive tests or he won't take any or there's no
just take
ability
his word,
to do
Rhino.
it. Take Kevin O'Leary's...
Just take his word.
I'm sorry, not Kevin O'Leary. Kevin O'Connor's...
The Shark Tank guy?
Yeah. Take Kevin...
I was but how did he get involved?
He might as well at this point.
No kidding.
Yeah, why not?
He would give you just as good answers as the other clowns.
He'd be a doctor expert
exactly
too.
Right.
Dr. Jill, Dr.
Yes.
Kevin. But Kevin O'Connor, who's the White House physician to the president, who was also tied up in a lot of the same schemes as he is, has now given you his word. So we're supposed to now trust this.
I guess in my mind, I keep going back to, we talked about the amount of trips that Joe Biden and Jill Biden had made to Delaware. And for as many people that would get upset about he's on vacation again, we would always point out, more than likely that's treatment. This was not hard to avoid. Just don't have this particular doctor over to the White House. And for the longest time, for the better part of 3.5 years, that's what they did. Now, conspiracy theory will tend to tell you, well, I mean, they wanted it out there because they wanted to go after him. Man, Berenson had the story, and not until Joe ends up penning his letter to Congress, which, again, I'm using finger quotes there, did they say, all right, let's pull out the big guns.
Yeah.
Let's take this story, let's run it as our own, and let's stay on the attack on this dude.
And that's the other thing that's going to happen, right? As they try to push Joe Biden out, because that is the goal. That's the ultimate goal for the Democrats. They're trying to figure out how to do it. So at some point, don't you expect a full diagnosis to leak? At some point, it's going to show up in the New York Times. Mm-hmm. Some point, it's going to show up in the Washington Post or on CNN or MSNBC, and they're going to say, we don't know where it came from, leaked medical papers on Joe Biden. Not only has he had dementia since 2018, he's also had Parkinson's since whenever. You know what I mean? That's going to be the next thing that comes. It has to be. They have to put it out there to make their case. Like, here's the official document that says he can't do this anymore.
It was interesting listening to Clay and Buck yesterday because they had a woman who called in. And she's a doctor, and her entire practice is working with elderly patients. And she basically pointed out, here are what she would say, like, again, she hasn't inspected the president, but she's like, just from seeing him, these are the signs of what it looks like, this version of Parkinson's. And she said some people go 10 years, some people go less than that. And she pointed out the issue that happens is that when their environment changes, such as like a time change, travel, or anything else, they become more confused, more agitated, and they have problems. All right, that doesn't really tell you that you should have a lot of confidence in the president being capable of handling the job.
No.
If the changing of where he is can possibly lead to cognitive issues.
No, of course not. But that is, I only know this because I see it in my father-in-law. If we go somewhere, it is incredibly difficult for him to adjust. He's got to the point, and this was a man that was so, I explained it a little bit yesterday, and I'll recap just when I first started dating my wife, He was so much fun to be around. And I love him. Man, I love my father-in-law. He's such an awesome dude. But to see where he was when I met him, we've been married 23 years, so 25 years ago, 26 years ago, the vibrant personality, so much fun, always laughing, always jovial, always active, to the shell of a person that he is now that has a hard time. And if we go out to dinner or anything happens, if we go anywhere, he is exactly what that lady is describing. And he's got to the point where he doesn't want to go to Jacob's baseball games.
Yeah.
He's uncomfortable because he's not comfortable how it makes him feel, the travel.
Yeah.
That's how scary and sad, and I mean that for Joe Biden too. It's sad for him too. It is a sad thing to happen to anybody, even if you don't like him. If
he wanted to stay out of this, he could, but he's not allowed to. His wife is pushing him through this. Exactly right. His kids are pushing. They are trying to save their own butts by using this man and knowing that he is cognitively just not there.
It's craziness going on in the United States of America, and we're here to talk about it. Tell you, at least from our perspective, tell you the truth as we see it. When we continue on Extra 106.3, it's not that Joe Biden has dementia and or Parkinson's. It's those darn pesky elites that keep trying to foil his re-election. Next on Extra 106.3.
Shannon Burke is back on the air in Atlanta. Well, sort of. He's live on The Kimmer Show every Thursday at 5 p.m.
You Democrats are doing this, and it's not right. You can't just start charging presidents with crimes or ex-presidents with crimes to stop them from living their normal life, to say nothing of the freedom of the First Amendment.
It has really bad implications, obviously, for Democrats. It shoots Jack Smith in several holes into his cases. It may even do away with the Georgia case. The president if he's calling to ask what the votes are or find some more votes, he's the president.
Right.
You know?
Well, the president has the right to talk to his staff and talk to his vice president and say, gee, I don't know if this is on the legit. We got to find out whether this is right or not. And try. So he's discussing the stuff that involved the presidential election. How could that not be presidential duties? I mean, my God.
Atlanta's biggest conservative voices are only on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Join the Atlanta Braves for a 2025 All-Star Game leadoff celebration at Truist Park on July 22nd. Arrive early for the pregame parade in the Battery Atlanta, featuring former Atlanta Braves All-Stars, and then a special on-field presentation featuring the introduction of the All-Star Ambassadors, Parachuters, and the unveiling of the 2025 All-Star logo. Visit Braves.com/All-Star Game for all of the details and to secure your tickets. Atlanta Braves Baseball, we are Braves country.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Van Sant Law, vansantlaw.com.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's how many times a Parkinson's disease specialist visited the White House, which is getting a lot of attention with President Biden's mental fitness under a lot of scrutiny. The president's doctor said last night that Kevin Kennard is a regular neurology consultant at the White House, where things got testy trying to explain it all.
White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre would not confirm details of several visits by a Parkinson's expert.
It doesn't matter how hard you push me. It doesn't matter how angry you get with me from here.
She says privacy concerns prevent more answers, noting thousands of military personnel get medical treatment at the White House Medical Unit. As for President Biden, she says he has been examined 3 times by a neurologist as part of his annual physical and has not shown any signs of a stroke, Parkinson's, or ALS.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Now, President Biden insists he's still running for re-election, urging Democrats to unite around him, even as some in Congress call for him to step aside. House Democrats will hold a private meeting on that today. Former President Trump tells Fox,
"It looks to me like he may very well stay in. He's got an ego and he doesn't want to quit."
But he believes they'll replace President Biden with Vice President Harris. Now, today, the president takes the world stage at the NATO summit that starts today in Washington. A big focus continuing to help Ukraine battle Russia after Monday's attacks that killed at least 38 Ukrainians.
Yesterday's scenes drew international outcry. Ukraine's largest children's hospital was hit as a daytime Russian barrage struck 5 Ukrainian cities. Young cancer patients ran from the building, dragging their drips behind them. Doctors digging for survivors with their bare hands.
As Fox's Jonathan Savage. Now, tropical depression Beryl is over Arkansas. It's blamed for 1 death in Louisiana, 7 in Texas, where Beryl hit as a hurricane, causing flooding and knocking out power. There are still more than 2 million outages across Texas, so many won't have AC in 100-degree heat. America's listening to Fox News.
Well, summer's here and the weather is beautiful. Everyone has a favorite outdoor activity: golf, bike riding, bird watching, long walks. Ask 100 people, you'll get 100 answers. But if everyday aches and pains are keeping you on the sidelines, I have one answer: Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. Wherever you're hurting, back, neck, joints, or muscles, in 3 weeks or less, you'll start to feel the difference all day, every day. So whatever you like to do, swimming, pickleball, hanging out in the garden, Relief Factor can help you feel good again and let you enjoy all your favorite outdoor activities all summer long. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
Finally, there is conservative talk in Atlanta, Georgia. Sometimes when you gotta go, you just gotta go. You don't have a bathroom. You're riding in a car. I know for my family, my sweet wife, her bladder is the size of a tiny peanut. I mean, she will go to the bathroom before we leave the house, and then 15 minutes into the ride, she'll be like, "Sweetheart, I'm sorry. I have the bathroom." And I, inside I'm melting down and I want to scream and holler, and I'm like, "Oh, sweetie, it's fine," and then pull off and then just stew as I'm sitting there just waiting.
Yeah, teach her a lesson. Just pull off to the side of the road and say, "Go ahead," and then drive away.
Do the double open doors thing.
Yeah.
Got to get between the double open doors. Have you ever done that?
Yeah. Oh gosh, I do that all the time.
That's
a good trick.
I've gotten so used to this traveling with 3 young women.
you got 3.
Yeah. So they're all, got the little chicken bladder.
Yes.
Tiny little bladder. And so, I give them like Rhino always talks about how when he was in New York, he wanted his big thing of soda.
Yes.
All right. There's no way that can be allowed in my car. Or else we're going to stop like 4 or 5 times every time.
I am just like your wife and your 3 girls. I have the bladder about the size of a peanut as well. And I really have to focus on like not drinking water or big drinks before I get on a trip because all my friends make fun of me and I'm like,
I'm sure.
I got to go again.
Dude, that's funny.
But I've actually learned like the trick to pee in a Gatorade bottle while, in the car.
Done it. Yeah.
I've at least got that down now.
Do you know who else has mastered that trick?
Who?
And the reason I bring this whole topic up, freaking Elton John.
Yes. Okay,
Elton John was in a French shoe store when he had to pee. He had to go to the bathroom so bad. And they said, well, sorry, Mr. John. There's no bathroom.
Sorry, Mr. John. There is no John.
That's right. And he peed in a bottle in like this super upscale French shoe store.
That man's a knight, by the way.
Yes. Well,
yeah.
I don't think that.
Sir Elton John, by the way, to you.
Exactly. Yes, I probably should have gotten that one right. But
apparently, if you're knighted, you can
pee in
anywhere
in a bottle inside of a store in Nice, France, called Sugar Kits.
Well, let me ask you why Sugar Kits doesn't have a restroom for their employees.
That's a great question. I couldn't answer it.
It
seems like it'd be illegal.
It seems illegal. I know in a restaurant you have to have a bathroom. There's no doubt about it. So every restaurant has a bathroom, whether or not they let you use it. If you serve any kind of food whatsoever, they have a bathroom, whether or not they let you use it. Now, New York's always been one of those places that, you go into Starbucks, or sorry, you can't use the bathroom unless you buy something.
Yeah.
So a lot of places will do that. But every store should have a bathroom. They're poor employees. Where do they go?
I have no idea, but it's interesting that Elton John ended up buying 2 pairs of shoes for his boys. He took a picture with the store owner, and in the picture, he and the store owner
held the bottle?
No, or shaking hands.
Oh, he didn't wash his hands.
Where would he have?
That's a good point.
I'm just saying.
Maybe he had another bottle that was full of water and antiseptic.
Yeah, I'm sure that. I'm sure that they had those wet naps with him. I'm sure he had those, like you get at a barbecue restaurant.
I don't like peeing in a bottle, and forever, because my friends would always tell me, just pee in the bottle, and we're not stopping again. And I'm like, I can't. I get that kind of stage fright. I guess, I don't know. I just can't pee that way. I could sit on a toilet and pee. I can't sit in a car seat and pee at the same time. It's a weird scenario for me.
Kid I was in the Navy with, his name was Joey Catalano. Joey had a very small chicken bladder, like we're talking about as well.
I thought you were going to talk about his small thing.
Oh, I don't know about that part.
You're like, Joey had a very small...
No, it was bladder, because we were talking about small bladders.
Okay.
Yeah. And Joey mastered the art of peeing in a Gatorade bottle, and he always had one with him, because when we would do general quarters drills, and general quarters is where, they sound the alarms and you're preparing the ship for battle. And we would do GQ drills, and Joey, no matter when we did it, it didn't matter. He could have just left the bathroom. Sometimes GQ drills go on for 2-3 hours at a time. And he would always bring him a Gatorade bottle, because every time he would have to pee. And there was always a Gatorade bottle sitting near where Joey was, because ain't nobody else going to carry it. And there would be a bottle of pee there. And you're like, oh my God, Joey, you're so freaking gross, you weirdo.
Now, if I could perfect this, what I want to do next for my next trick, I want to learn how to pee in water balloons. That way, when I get mad at someone in traffic, I just tie it up, throw it right at them.
It makes me gag.
What a great way to express my road rage.
Oh,
just
Lord.
sit there and throw a water balloon right on their windshield when they cut me off.
That dude got somebody doing that to Danny Trejo yesterday. We talked about. Man, that'd be the last person you want to do it to.
Oh, I ain't gonna do it to him.
No, because that dude was freaking.
I'm only gonna do it when I can get away in my car.
Yes, I don't blame you. But yeah, peeing. Elton John. He is a very small bladder. Pees in a restaurant or pees in a shoe store. Anywho, Joe Biden is in bad shape. I wonder if he has a bad bladder. I wonder if any of the things that are ailments of he.
From Normandy,
the
way he squatted in the middle, I'm going to say, probably a bad everything.
I didn't even think about it. You're exactly right. The answer is yes. Clearly, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
But it's not all the things that are happening to him, like, potentially pooping his pants at Normandy, or the possibility of dementia, the possibility of Parkinson's disease. It's those pesky elites. That's who's causing him the most problem.
The American public is not going to move away from me as an average voter. And again, I'm here for two reasons, pal. One, to rebuild the economy for hardworking middle-class people, give everybody a shot, just a straight shot. Everybody gets a fair chance, number one. Number two, remember all this talk about how I don't have the black support? Come on, give me a break. Come with me. Watch. I'm getting so frustrated by the elites. Now, I'm not talking about you guys, but about the elites in the party who they know so much more. But any of these guys don't think I should run against me. Go ahead, announce the president. Challenge me in the convention.
There's a couple things. There's so many things there. But he's going on to a softball interview because that was where he called into Morning Joe over on MSNBC yesterday. But he brought up rebuilding the economy. And I can't help but think, well, you've had 3.5 years. Like, what have you been doing in that 3.5 years that you didn't rebuild the economy that you said was so bad?
For our audience out there, if you're not aware of what this is, I'm going to tell you, and then we'll explain how this works. The no trade clause. Okay? Major League Baseball, you'll often see a no trade clause. And a player will have a list of teams, or just, you've got to talk to me first. And all it is that you have to buy a person out. You have to end up saying, here's a sweetener, I'm going to give you an extra $2 million, waive your no trade clause. It feels like we're in this dance right now where Joe Biden is basically saying, I've got the nomination, I've got the delegates. If you want me to go away, you better sweeten this deal. That's what it feels like to me.
It really does. Yeah, this is what's going on, and they're playing the game. And, this is playing poker. Here comes the turn. Do you have the last card to win this? No, probably not. And that's where Biden is. They don't have that last card, but they have enough to say, hey, I'm going to push all in and see what happens. They're all in at this point. The fact that he brought up the word elites, I think that's very key, and it's actually a message being sent to the elites. Think about what he's saying. He's not in control of this party. He's not in control of this country. The elites are in control. The one thing that we're always told, we're conspiracy theorists for thinking there's an elites out there that is controlling Joe Biden. And here he is saying, well, if the elites want me gone, then they need to come challenge me. He's letting you know that he's not in control. Someone else is the puppet master pulling this puppet strings.
I've yet to see any of the elites, though, like Barack Obama, per se, to say, Joe, you got to step down. Like that. So who is he exactly talking about? Because he doesn't name anybody. Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, there's certainly elites in that party, and I've not seen either one of them say.
Well, we're seeing this from their donor class because you're not having the higher end of the party yet really saying the things that need to be said, which is you need to bow out. You're getting the rank and file.
Yep, that's right.
You're getting a lot of House members on the Democrat side that are talking about how, Joe, it's time to go. This is really going to be about the donor class when that money starts to dry up. And he ended up raising about $180 million so far. It takes about $1 billion to run for president. If that money is drying up, that's going to end up telling him everything he needs to know. And again, he's going to hold this position hostage until he gets the right sort of payday. That's how the whole crime family works.
Yes.
This is not unusual.
Yeah, this is their golden parachute.
Because this kind of, now that you said that, it reminds me a little bit of him talking about how they've raised, was it $38 million that they've raised since the debate?
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. And they keep stressing the fact that it is from small and medium donors. Yeah. All of a sudden, those elites that he's saying are holding him back are not donating. So does that pretty much show the hand that the elites have already backed off him? And we saw the mega donor yesterday, the Tillman guy that donates hundreds of millions of dollars to Democrat causes and Democrat nominees and candidates. He's already said, I'm out. And he said the dam is about to break. And Joe Biden's own campaign is saying they've raised $38 million since the debate, but it all come from small and medium donors. That pretty much spells out that the dude is exactly right. That the Tillman donor guy is saying what we're all listening and understanding.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's irresponsible for these opinionists on Morning Joe not to ask the follow-up questions. Then, hold on, who are the elites? What are the elites? Why do the elites control you? You're the president of the United States. You're supposed to be the most powerful man in the world. Who are the elites? We know who the elites are. It may not just be Barack Obama. There's 5 to 10 of them. There may be 20 of them. We don't know. Could be Soros, but I'll tell you who they are. They're big mega donors that want to control how the money will flow back to them eventually. Whether they're on the boards of big corporations or they're just billionaires that will quietly keep themselves quiet, those are the elites who are going to decide this decision. These are the elites of the Democrat Party, because remember, he broke that down. Those elites in my party, if they want to challenge me, by all means, come at me, challenge me. He's calling out people of his own party that are controlling that. That's the threat to democracy. He's laying out, there's a threat to democracy. They're trying to decide who you get to vote for.
You can go and read the book by Jason Chaffetz. It's called The Puppeteers. And it talks about who is really in charge in D.C., and oftentimes it is these particular big money donors, these corporations that make these huge donations that basically control both sides of each party.
Because when you get that big donation, you are now handcuffed. And
you are handcuffed into what they want policy-wise.
That's right.
And these are the people that are essentially saying, Joe, you got to go. This is the fight. It's as much as we want to say that he's going to face problems from Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Chuck Schumer. They don't have the same sort of push as somebody who's controlling $10 or $20 million in potential ad revenue for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, Barack Obama is a puppet to the elites as well.
No, that's right.
He is just,
there's always the big people behind.
There's a captain, like there's a lieutenant, there's a sergeant.
It's a little bit like the Wizard of Oz.
The mafia. Yeah. The mafia has captains too. They're very powerful. They may be the Gaudis, they may be this, but there's a crime family head and then the rest of them down that do the work for them. The elites are the crime family. That's the head of the crime family. That's your godfathers.
And he brought up in that cut, he brought up the economy. He's got to get it fixed. I'm like, and I go back to it. You've had 3.5 years and you've done nothing. You've made it worse, if anything else. Now
it's building from the middle out, remember? I mean, the middle class is doing great right now. The low-income families are doing fantastic right now. They're not struggling.
Right. 2/3 of the middle class said they can't keep up and are falling behind financially. We talk about it all the time. Credit cards. People are charging credit cards like they never have. We have more credit card debt in the United States right now than any other time in history. So,
but it's fine.
Yeah,
everything's fine. Everything's
great. I've got to continue this work.
It's got to finish off killing off the country, killing off that middle class.
Yeah, that way we can be rulers instead of duly elected officials. But that's the thing, man. People are struggling, and everybody recognizes it. I mean, Joe Biden probably doesn't because he's insulated. He has that bubble around him. Everybody else knows it.
I know that this is foreign to people, but the idea of a middle class, that was something that was largely given to us by capitalism. That in most countries before, when you look at what has gone on in the past, there was always the ruling class and the plebes. Okay, like that's how it was. The people that had everything, there was no middle class, all the people that had nothing. Capitalism gave you a middle class, and to watch what has gone on where that is the primary group under assault right now, to see Joe Biden try and tell me that, look, the work I've done for the middle class. You've had an all-out assault since day one of your administration on the middle class.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're trying to finish us off.
Yeah, I mean, you signed away our energy independence on Jan 20. And as much as people want to go and play the game that, oil production is up and gas prices, is because of the summer, or because that nobody was supplying demand. No. Petroleum makes 90% of our products. That includes everything, including our supply chain. It also helps with the supply chain. So, yeah, that's what's caused inflation. And there's good reason for us to sit here and break it down and say, hey, Joe, you've destroyed this economy not only for the middle class, but because of the inflationary problems, because of the problems with the mortgage industry and the interest rates. Families are losing every single day. We can't go and say, hey, you know what? Our 18-year-old left. They went to college out in Charleston, and it's time for us to downsize to a better home that we're able to take care of as we get older and maybe for our forever home. But we can't refinance it because of this. The middle class is getting destroyed, but the low-income families also are getting destroyed. The median average right now that you need is to make $75,000 a year per person in your home.
So for a family, a couple, 150 grand just to stay afloat.
It ain't happening in the middle class right now because you know what? The jobs aren't there because the idea is, hey, let's create government jobs so that you are really tied down to, hey, we're going to tell you what you do, what you make, and that's it.
But government jobs don't produce anything.
You don't have the ability to move forward or grow or create your own. The private sector, that's why trickle economics works, is the private sector continues to create jobs, not the government.
Unfortunately, that's where we are, though. And another thing, since you brought up energy before we get to headlines, I've been reading about how now power companies are working directly with companies like Microsoft and Google. So, because as we've discussed, these AI generators, they use so much power.
Yeah, they're power banking.
Dude, they are going to circumvent you and I to buy directly from the power companies, and it's going to leave us out in the cold.
It's already happened in the city of Atlanta.
Yeah,
it's already happened.
Yeah.
They're already brokering from Georgia Power, so you're not going to get what you need, but the data centers will.
Dude, I'm
telling you.
Go read
it. It's in the AJC, by the way, all day.
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
Morning Xtra at Xtra 106.3, 7 o'clock hours brought to you by Van Sant Law. If you're in an accident, make the right call. VanSantLaw.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines. Presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Here are your top stories in the state of Georgia for today, Tuesday, July 9th. DeKalb County fire officials are currently at an apartment complex on Snapfinger Rose Drive investigating a fire that left one man dead. Investigators believe the fire started in a bedroom of the apartment. They found a disabled man in his laundry room and rushed him to the hospital where he later died. The cause of the fire remains unknown. Hall County deputies are looking for a 20-year-old Zachary Rutledge of Winder after he went swimming with his friends at haunted Lake Lanier. Rutledge went missing after his two friends lost sight of him at Burton Mill Park on Lake Lanier. Deputies say it's possible Rutledge swam back to shore and left the park, but no one has heard from him. And in sports, it took 11 innings for the Braves to secure a win against the Arizona Diamondbacks last night. Catcher Sean Murphy hit a game-tying home run in the ninth inning, and all-star Marcell Ozuna drove in the game winner, giving the Braves a 5-4 victory. Charlie Morton will be on the mound for Game 2 tonight. First pitch scheduled for 9:40. You can catch all the action on our sister station, 680 The Fan.
You better catch yourself a nap before you try to watch the Braves. Holy cow.
11 innings. I know they didn't start till 10 o'clock last night.
So nuts. When we continue, Neil Bortz, the talk master, joins us on Xtra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
Hey, it's Flounder, and the Kimmer Show is live every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m.
If he had pleaded guilty and said, God, I'm such an idiot, I was high, I'm so sorry, I'll bet there's a million other guys who signed the form after smoking a joint. What a terrible mistake. I guarantee he would have been fined and given probation.
But you know why he did it? Because he's a Biden in Delaware, and he thought he was going to get away with it.
They were looking for jury nullification. There's no other possible explanation that a lawyer in good standing would say, hey, Hunter, oh, sure, they got the goods on you, but you know what? Let's take a chance on one of your friends. I mean, unbelievable, the nerve of these people.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Xtra 106.3 and the Xtra app.
I love shopping at locally owned businesses, and that's why I shop at True Prep in Marietta on Cobb Parkway. But that's not the only reason I shop there. I shop there because they have the best selection of everything I need to make sure that my family's safe in case of an emergency. Whether it's freeze-dried food, already prepackaged, or if I want to do it myself, they have every tool I need, Mylar bags, oxygen absorbers, everything to make sure that I have the freeze-dried food stored away. But they also have water filtration, and I'm talking about important water filtration that doesn't have to use power to filter your water. this is the things that you need to start talking about with your family. Start planning for any kind of an emergency. But if you're new to it, well, that's what's great about True Prep as well. They have workshops all the time to help you get started. In fact, Saturday, July 20th, the Intro to Water Filtration and Storage, long-term food storage, freeze-dried foods, and Mylar demo. That's coming up right there in their facility because they have a beautiful facility. Yep, they've got your freeze-dried food, your firearms, your firearm accessories, your ammo, your water filtration, your first aid kits, all right there. They're locally owned and operated, so you can do that. But you can also learn all about it and start doing it yourself with some of their great workshops in their facility. They have a great room there. You got to go check them out. They also got some other good ones coming up. In fact, this weekend they've got home security when it matters. And the Right to Bear presents church safety training. Go to their website as well, but go visit them. Check out their huge selection. Say hey to Matt, Joey, Amy, all the professionals over at True Prep. Tell them Rhino sent you. They'll take great care of you. Marietta, Cobb Parkway, or online. Check out the entire workshop they've got going on there at trueprep.com. That's TRU prep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow with True Prep.
Shooting drills. A coach who knows the game can teach their team how to improve. But one who genuinely cares about each player
you have what it takes. We got this.
Can inspire them to win. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Because when you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Start feeling unstoppable. Visit truist.com/care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
There are crazies on the road. Who knows where they're all going, but if one of them hits you, don't take care of it on your own. Call my friend David Van Sant. He is the lawyer that used to work for the insurance company. The team at Van Sant Law knows who to call, what to say, and will make sure you get what you deserve and what the insurance company doesn't want to pay for. They have your best interest at heart and will take care of everything. If you don't get paid, they don't get paid. My advice, save Van Sant Law in your phone. Today, 855-GA-INJURY, vansantlaw.com.
I've been with EMC Security for over 10 years, and their service and support are always fantastic. There's nothing better than a business that understands that great service earns loyalty, unlike companies that rely on contracts. Plus, their prices are unbeatable, and they're always focused on solving any issues quickly.
It's time to experience long-term satisfaction and true customer care. EMC Security. Exceeding customer expectations since 1998. Visit emcsecurity.com for a free quote.
When you're leaving the house, do you plead with your garage door? Please open, please open. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. Let us take that anxiety away with one quick call. Our highly trained technicians will get to the bottom of your garage door issues. It could be a simple repair, a malfunctioning opener, or maybe just needs a tune-up. But if it's time for your garage door to be replaced, we'll make that easy too with upfront pricing and free estimates. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
Grow your business organically with Atlanta's fastest growing news and talk station, Extra 1063. Get started today by emailing sales@xtra1063.com.
There is only one Neil Bortz, and he only joins one radio station. That is Extra 1063. He joins us this morning. Now, Neil, I understand you woke up early accidentally. This time zone thing is really screwing you over, buddy.
It really is. I mean, I am not handling the time zone well, but I'll be back in the Eastern time zone today. The Bortz bus is almost unplugged. I got the stinky slinky put away.
Gross. Yuck. Those things are so gross.
Slinky.
Yeah, the last thing is the plug, and I'll wind that thing up and pull out of here. And I'll be back in the Eastern time zone by about noon.
Yeah. All right.
Where I function a lot better.
So wait, can I ask a question? Because it's not like you're new to this and new to traveling. You've been across the country. You've been around. This is new to you? Like time zone changes? What's going on?
Well, I have become used to doing something that for 50-something years I could not do.
Yeah.
And that's sleeping in.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, I used to wake up, no alarm clock, no nothing. I woke up at 4:30, and that's when I got up. But I've been retired now for 10-plus years, and I now don't wake up at 4:30 anymore. So that's the problem. Now, the problem this morning is the bus operates on mini iPads. They do everything but flush the toilets. And so I woke up this morning, I reached over, I tapped the mini iPad, and it said 6:15. I said, oh, God. But the truth was that it was only 5:15.
Oh, it didn't update for the time change, man. You got to put that on automatic update, man. You got to get that setting.
I know. Well, my watch and my phone and all that, but so that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it now.
That's fair.
So, since we're pulling out of here, I can say where I've been, and I've been in one of my favorite cities in the entire country, Nashville, Tennessee. I just love Nashville.
Music City, USA. There ain't nothing like it. It's fun up there.
Nashville is what Atlanta could have been.
Yeah.
They have shuttles here where we have been, where the Bortz bus has been parked, shuttles that take you downtown. Now, tell me a suburban hotel or something in Atlanta that has shuttles that will take you downtown.
I mean, they might take you. I just don't know if anybody will want to go.
Yeah.
Well, they do. They're called ambulances, and they're on the way to Grady.
That's awful and funny and right.
Just got a little puncture wound. You get to go ahead and head over
a flesh wound.
Yeah, and so this city, Nashville, is what Atlanta could have become.
Yeah.
What Atlanta could have been, but isn't. And, Garth Brooks had the right idea here. He opened up a bar in downtown Atlanta.
That's right.
Who's going to do that? I mean, in downtown Nashville. Who's going to do that in Atlanta? But here's his brilliant stroke. He donated $3 million to build a police precinct right next to his bar.
Wonder why.
Now, Young Thug might, do a whole bar down there after the Fulton County DA ruins this entire case and he ends up, getting free.
Shout out to Young Thug this morning.
Yeah, Mr. Thug, what's up?
Yeah, the danger in Nashville is that Jelly Roll could go on a rampage.
Well, come on.
Watch out for Jelly Roll.
He's gotten himself straightened out. He's paying for a young woman's college. He and his wife are doing IVF. They're going to have babies. I mean, Jelly's busy, and everybody in Nashville wants to work with him.
He's still a freak.
Why? Because of tattoos?
Just the face tats?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. But he's found the ill of his ways. I mean, he did say he regretted the face tattoos.
Okay, well then that gives him a pass. He's good.
Okay, good.
Well, and I have a suggestion though for an upcoming trip. If we were ever to be able to organize, perhaps finding our way onto the Bortz bus.
Yeah.
All right. How about August 31st? Notre Dame at Kyle Field taking on Texas A&M.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Oh, I've done that. I've done that before.
Not with us.
Not yet.
No.
Not with your friends.
Guys, listen carefully. Okay, listen carefully.
I'm listening.
This motor coach sleeps 2.
No, you choose for it to sleep 2. There's very different as sleeping 2 and then having room for more than 2.
And I don't even need to sleep in the RV. I'll bring my tent and sleep outside. I just need the ride down there.
Well, they do have this amazing place next to Kyle Field where you can park your RVs. I've only done it once, but it's an incredible tailgate site. They have some permanent sites, but that you can lease year to year to year to year. But they have hookups. They have a place for your stinky slinky. They have the 50 amp electricity there. But that's hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to lease one of those places, yeah.
Well, you got it, though.
But listen, when I said months ago that this was going to be an amazing election year, boy, did I ever understate. This, I have never, and I've paid attention to politics for a number of years, never seen anything like this. What a mess.
But, Neil, I'm not trying to derail what you're saying because all of it's correct. But I see how quickly you pivoted away, us going anywhere with you to a football game.
Yeah.
That happened
Can
real
we
fast.
get back to that real quick?
November 30th, Texas A&M in Texas.
Oh, you noticed that, did you?
I did, yes.
No, but I think it's fascinating, Neil, because in my lifetime, I've never seen where a Democrat Party has completely turned on their candidate and now on a daily basis is trying to find different ways to get him to leave the nomination.
I mean, this is even more proof that guy is demented. Mm-hmm. He's look, Don and I talk about this because we both have this in our families. And by the way, I want you to let me know when it shows up with me because I've got the gene.
Okay. All right. If you start saying crazy things, we'll let you know.
Yeah. I am supposed to have Alzheimer's, but I don't. By the way, this is a key point for people to remember when they get to the age of incontinence, and that is if you think you have Alzheimer's, you don't.
Okay.
That's a rule of thumb.
Okay. Yeah. If you think you have it, you don't. Okay.
If you think you have it, you don't. But, I mean, some of the things that have been going on the last few, this is the most grave self-inflicted wound I have ever seen a politician deliver unto himself since I've been watching it. This guy shot himself in the groin, in the head, and anywhere else that hurts.
Yeah.
But he just refuses to accept it. When he goes out somewhere, they print maps. They print maps. This is the building you'll be in. Here is your path to the podium.
Yeah.
You walk on the stage this way, then you turn that way, and there's the podium, and you'll know you're at the podium because here's a picture of what the audience looks like from the podium. And, I mean, this is insane. This man has to be guided with large type and pictures, step by step, everywhere he goes.
What did you think about his comment yesterday to Morning Joe? I'm sure, I don't know if you heard it or not, but talking and saying if the elites in his party want to come after him, we're picking up on the word elites a lot, especially when it came to the party. And it just kind of went to show that Joe's not in charge of this. He is the puppet for the puppet masters if he's calling out and saying he'll fight the elites and they could challenge him all he wants at the DNC.
Well, yeah, but we all know that's not going to happen. It's not going to. Elites, let's put that word now with existential. Okay, because every journalist or so-called reporter out there must use the word existential at least once in every written article. And then, of course, the word totally, which is being popularized by Gen Z, that everything is totally this, oh, wait a minute, literally this, literally that. Listen to these people talk, and every sentence has the word literally in it.
Neil,
also,
go ahead.
You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
You know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
Good.
Legally, where do the Democrats fall from your legal background? Because he's got the delegates. He's pretty much got the nomination wrapped up. Where can the Democrats act legally to push him out? Because there doesn't seem to be many paths to do that.
25th Amendment.
Other than that. And
that's it.
Do you see anybody using that? Because I don't.
No. No, but I don't. And I can't think of any other legal way for them to push him aside. The only other thing they have is an actual revolt at the convention. 44 days from now, I believe. But then I might have Alzheimer's. I don't know.
No, because if you think you have it, you don't have it. We just have it.
Yeah, but I think it's 44. That's the only way I can see it. And I still think that Joe Biden has one thumb in the eye for America that he can still pull, and this would be for the Democrats too, and that's to resign.
Yeah.
And I don't see him doing that.
And if he resigns, he says, okay, you asked for it, you elites out there. I resign, effective tomorrow at noon. And Kamala Harris becomes the only human that has ever slept their way to the White House.
She would finally be able to pull that off. Neil Bortz is our guest on the Morning Extra. I guess what I keep going back to, Neil, is when I think about that possibility, the entire reporting has been that Jill Biden can't stand Kamala going back to 2020, that there's no way that they would do anything to help put her in power. And so I feel like this, and I saw it described as a murder-suicide pact. It's almost like Joe Biden basically told the rest of the Democrat Party, you can come after me if you want, but I'm killing all of us if you do.
Yeah, exactly, and I think he would do that. I think his dementia has gone far enough. And I started to say this, I didn't finish the thought, but Donna is far more empathetic a person than I am. She would have made a horrible talk show host. She's very bright, but she has empathy, much more than me. But we both agree that it's not really nice to make fun of Joe. He cannot help what has happened to him. But his decline is accelerating. It is. It's on a slope and picking up speed day by day. Lord knows what kind of condition he'll be in when the Democrat convention convenes, and if he runs and if he is elected, his inauguration speech should be one for the records.
Yeah.
Why don't the Republicans have somebody like Ronald Reagan to run against him?
Well, they did. His name's Ron DeSantis, I think, and they've kind of put that away because of Donald Trump's ability to really engage a lot of people. But my more concern is, and I feel with you because I feel bad for Joe Biden a lot of times in the way he's being mishandled. But sometimes I look back at this 50-year career in politics and say bad people get bad things, and the same thing with Jill Biden. I truly believe that Jill Biden and Joe Biden right now are working on their golden parachute. They don't want everybody to come after them for all the crimes that they have committed, whether it is money laundering from Ukraine or selling influence. Hunter Biden came to help out. They're all trying to cover themselves. They're getting their pardons. They're working with the elites to figure out how they're going to make their exit strategy. But why would you come out in public right now and say you're not going to run until something's done and you get everything you want from the elites? And Jill Biden's behind all that. She wants to make sure that she's not going to get prosecuted. Her husband doesn't have to get tied up in court. And obviously all the court documents the classified documents that they had, they're trying to save their butts and go away.
What happens if Donald Trump says, if I'm elected, I will pardon Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, and Jill Biden for any and all crimes they may have committed?
It would be brilliant, but I don't think you'd ever hear that from him. He's going, like, whether we like it or not, he's going to use the same rules of engagement against them, or at least that would be the thought. I'd love to believe that there is no retribution except for success like he originally told us. But when it comes down to prosecuting crimes against, the American people, I think that there's plenty of information out there about Joe Biden and the entire family that you might be able to go ahead and prosecute.
It's going to be a great week. By the way, 2 quick points since you're kicking me out the door. I can hear you. Did you get the number of people shot and killed in Chicago over the holiday weekend?
100.
100 people shot, 19 people dead. Yay, Chicago.
Well, it's going to be a really fun DNC, apparently, huh?
Buddy.
Yeah.
He's packing heat, everybody.
And once again, can we all revel in the fact that New York City brags so much about being a sanctuary city, and boy, are they paying big time now.
It is funny to see how they get exactly what they want and then cry about it.
Exactly. They have 204 illegal aliens, not migrants. 204,000 in that wonderful sanctuary city, costing tens of billions of dollars. Hey, I left my wallet in New York City. It's horrible.
Boards buzz to Kyle Field. Think about it.
Just consider it.
No.
At least he's honest.
No, I don't have the juice over there anymore. I can't,
what if we
I'll
arrange
make a couple phone calls?
We arrange it, and then
we'll make it happen.
No. In their football program, they used to have a page, Aggies of Influence, and they had my picture. They don't even know who the hell I am now.
Oh, well, we do, and that's all that matters. You're always welcome here. Neil Bortz, the Talk Master on Xtra 106.3. Neil, make it a great day, man. Safe travels home.
Okay, guys, be good.
God bless you, sir. Tuck, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra until 10 when we come back. Trump's 2024 platform is exactly what America needs. It speaks for itself. We'll discuss it next.
If you love news and talk, you have to connect with the biggest personalities in the South at thepodcastpark.com. It's more original Atlanta content from Atlanta's hometown talk crew. From legal news to sports and politics, and even archives of interviews from years past. Find the podcast that you love and subscribe everywhere you get podcasts.
Good morning, Atlanta. It's Los. Let's talk about Howard Brothers and Walker Mowers. You've noticed, hey, we've had some rain. Guess what? Your grass, it's really green. It's growing really fast. Are you tired of struggling with your old mower? That is the question, because if that is the case, it's time to step up to the next level with Walker Mowers. Designed with precision, efficiency, and comfort in mind, Walker Mowers are the ultimate choice for professional landscapers and homeowners alike. You can find these top-of-the-line mowers over at, guess where? Howard Brothers, of course, with their wide selection and expert advice. They will help you find the perfect Walker mower for your mowing needs. Stop struggling out in the yard. Stop dealing with those problems you've been dealing with your old mower. Head on over to Howard Brothers and get yourself a Walker. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Walker and with Howard Brothers.
Hey Atlanta, it's Mark from Atlanta Safe House. The Safe House crew hopes everyone is enjoying their vacation this summer. We know the criminals are watching and waiting for you to leave so they can bust in and steal your stuff. But hey, there is a solution. Come purchase a quality safe from Atlanta Safe House. And with summer rebates and specials, you can save hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a quality safe. And remember, don't let an illegal or crackhead deliver or move your safe. They could very well know your combination. So drop by the showroom or go to atlantasafehouse.com.
At Nelson Elder Care Law, we understand that family is everything. That's why we prioritize your family's future with personalized asset protection solutions. Call us today to schedule your legacy planning meeting and discover how our team can tailor our services to meet your family's unique needs, ensuring a secure and worry-free future. NelsonElderCareLaw.com.
Well, Stephen, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, we can't offer you the position.
Why?
Well, we ran your background check and there were several red flags.
Like what?
You were arrested 7 times for reckless driving.
So?
So you're applying for the school's bus driver position.
If you're in charge of hiring for your company, you know how helpful a background screening can be. That's why companies that use Horizon Background Screening make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com. Horizonscreening.com.
Get ready. Diamonds Direct will forever change the way you shop for jewelry. With over 80 years experience in direct sourcing, Diamonds Direct is finally opening in Atlanta. Customers across the Southeast know Diamonds Direct for their unbeatable selection and prices, but return again and again because of their unparalleled customer experience. The experts at Diamonds Direct are your advocate in the dizzying world of diamonds, ensuring you are nothing shy of confident in your purchase. How do they do it? With the best selection, the best quality, and the best price. In fact, Diamonds Direct guarantees they won't just meet any local price, they'll beat it. So if you can dream it, Diamonds Direct can deliver it. Build your own engagement ring, tap into their custom design studio, or choose from hundreds of ready-to-wear styles. No other jeweler can maximize your budget like Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct, coming soon to Buckhead and ready to amaze Atlanta with the best selection, the best quality, the best price, and the best people guaranteed.
Hey guys, I'm Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly. Have you heard the buzz about Seeds of Excellence Christian Academy?
Thanks, Tara. I'm Dr. Eugene Wallace, CEO and head of schools of Seeds of Excellence Christian Academy in Austell, Georgia. We are Christian, scholarly, affordable, and relational. Seeds of Excellence is committed to nurturing the whole child, spirit, mind, and body. From daily Bible classes to weekly chapel services, advanced technology, world languages, fine arts, athletics, national competitions, and a dedicated team of great professionals, our scholars from 6 weeks to 8th grade receive quality care through a premier education grounded in Christian worldviews. By blending the Abeka curriculum with Georgia state standards, we offer a comprehensive and faith-based learning environment that equips our scholars for success. We are thrilled to partner with Our Town Monthly. We want everyone in the community to read all about us.
You're right, Doc. Seeds of Excellence is a perfect fit. Friends, explore SOECA.net and experience the difference today.
Keep up with all of our shows and the latest headlines by following Xtra 1063 on Instagram, X, Facebook, Truth Social, and all your social media platforms. Plus exclusive giveaways and more. So follow now at XTRA 1063.
The 2024 platform of Donald Trump is exactly what America needs, starting with the first one, seal the border and stop the migrant invasion. I mean, that's where everything begins if you want law and order in this country.
I love that Donald Trump is nowhere to be found right now. This is so smart on his part. We talked about how part of the good thing that was going on with these cases was that when he was silenced, when he wasn't allowed to talk about them, it almost gave him a certain level of when he did talk, everyone paid more attention. And to watch what's going on this week, where when they ask his campaign or ask him, hey, what do you think about what's going on with Joe Biden? Hey, you know what? That's between him and them.
They got to figure it out.
I'm leaving it alone. So what happens outside of that? Well, it drops the platform for 2024. And just as you pointed out, Tug, seal the border and stop the migrant invasion. And then it just carries on from there. There's 20 different points. End the weaponization of the government against the American people. Prevent World War III. Large tax cuts for workers and no tax on tips, that being a big one. Make America the dominant energy producer in the world by far. These are all points that when you watch what's going on the other side and then you see, here's our 20 things that we want to have occur. Remember, you've had Joe Biden in control for the better part of 3.5, 4 years. These were all right on his doorstep, and he did none of them. This is the difference in what you're talking about, these two different men.
Trump has a clear path forward. The Democrats are in full-on chaos. This is so unusual. This is something I don't know that we've seen in 40 years, Rhino, for the Republicans, right? They're always seemingly at odds with each other in chaos, and the one man that they say is the most chaotic in Donald Trump has brought everything together cohesively, put out a very clear roadmap, and it's now just sitting back and watching the chaos on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, let the chaos happen and it continue to happen because they're going to pick up on this and they see this and now they're going to distract and say, no, that's not what his plan is. It's Project 2025. And they're going to try to, once again, lie to the American people, not give them the correct information. They're going to put out misinformation and they continue to do that. Now, this is going to be something that the Democrats, the true 2024 platform, they're not going to like it. They're going to pick up on, oh, well, what do you mean the last deportation? I've already seen it. They're going to have military vehicles coming into your neighborhoods, checking out your status, taking kids away from their families, blah, blah, blah. They're going to run the gamut of lies when it comes to this platform. This is a good, serious platform. This is what America needs right now, just to get back to the point of being the strongest country in the nation and leading the world in what I believe is the most diverse country in the world. And this is the only way back.
How about number 15? And I think
I love it.
This is where we got to get into the special word here. Cancel the electric vehicle mandate and cut costly and burdensome regulations.
Love it.
It's not that we have any issue, at least me, with EV. Granted, you got to tear apart the whole earth in order to get the power to go ahead and get these batteries.
Yeah, it's a marketing scheme.
Right.
That's all it is. If you want to drive it, drive it.
Drive it. But
don't be
mandating it.
Just like shots shouldn't be mandated.
That's the same idea. If it's going to work in the free market, then let it work in the free market.
Or let it die in the free market.
Or let it die. If it isn't going anywhere, if there's no resale market, well, then let it go. Again, mandating is a form of soft tyranny.
Of course it is.
And we've seen how, for some reason, over the last 4 years, everything turned into, well, we got to mandate this and mandate that. Mandate nothing. Let's just see what the free market does.
And that's what irritates me a little bit about what we're doing here in Georgia, because I feel like we're tethering our whole economy, or at least a big portion of our economy, to EV that seems to be spitting and sputtering, and these mandates hopefully are going to go away. So where is that going to leave Georgia?
And build a better product.
That's exactly.
Sure.
Right. That's what needs to happen, but I'm just afraid it's not going to.
No, and that's look, they're going to fight everything that Donald Trump tries to do. This is why it's so important for us to also look down ballot and say, hey, we need to make sure that we have the right senators in there, and we have to have the right representatives in the House. I'll go up to 14. Tell me what's wrong with fight for and protect Social Security and Medicare with no cuts, including no changes to the retirement age. That is such an important line. Number 14, it should have been up higher, because if people actually get down to it, maybe they'll start to realize, hold on one second, this is a man who is being lied about, where he says, here it is in his platform. So continue to lie that they're going to cut Social Security. Continue to lie that they're going to cut Medicare. You don't need to do cuts. We need adjustments.
Well, there's a playbook. And the Democrats are going to wait until about September or October, depending on which one of them are still united. And they're going to say, Donald Trump is going to cut your Social Security. And that's what's always been used to scare the elderly and have them show up to vote against anything that is Republican. And I'm glad you've got it in writing right here, basically saying no cuts and no change to retirement age. Now, is that long-term going to work?
Can't be.
No.
Because that's what I was about to rebut with.
But play the game.
Yeah.
And the game is, nope, not going to do it.
I get it. But at the same time, we're going to have to deal with it.
By the way,
sooner or later.
The fun part about Donald Trump is once he's in, if he's in, he does not need to seek re-election.
Yeah, right.
Correct.
So he can do what he needs to get done.
You know, he left abortion off there, which I think was brilliant as well, because he's already made his statement about abortion that it's up to the states. It's not part of his platform, and I thought it was brilliant that he didn't bring it into a platform since it is a state issue.
Morning Extra and Extra 106.3 when we continue. The Democrats aren't smart enough to understand Trump being unusually quiet right now. After a Neil Bortz report and a Fox News update, more of the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. Tug, Rhino, and Los until 10.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
With this Democrat election debacle, things look pretty grim for the United States. So maybe today, some positive notes about what's going on in the U.S. Sometimes you read the newspapers, you think that China and Russia are winning the day. But let's think about it. Andy Kessler, writing in the Wall Street Journal, he points out that technology is the driver of global growth. And we have 6 U.S.-based technology companies that are worth more than $1 trillion. This far surpasses any other nation. Why? Because the United States enables innovation, for now anyway, while the rest of the world, with very few exceptions, is mired in statism. And the dollar is still the reserve currency for the world. As Kessler points out, try spending Chinese money in Costa Rica. Also, the United States is oil independent. Lift Joe Biden's ban on liquefied natural gas, and we could export enough LNG to Europe and Japan to make them independent of Russia and the Middle East. Economic growth. From 2010 to 2023, the cumulative economic growth in the U.S., 34% versus 21% for the European Union. And as Kessler explains, the why is very simple. Capital flows to where it is treated best. Capital looks for opportunity, merit, and upside. For now, that's the United States. It'll stay that way if we can keep Democrats out of control. People with talent want to come to the United States to use that talent to build themselves and their companies. We got problems, but we're still number one. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Have you heard about Sonder and their Georgia-based Medicare Advantage health plans? Sonder Health Plans is committed to revolutionizing healthcare, making it straightforward, personal, and affordable. Call them and ask if you qualify for their fantastic $400 grocery card offer and $0 premiums. They've even got their own radio show and podcast called Weekend Wellness, dedicated to keeping all Georgians healthy and happy at every age. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
Hey, it's Tug. The Morning Xtra has you covered from 6 to 10, and Kimmer's got you on the ride home.
On this day in 2019, 11-judge panel from the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals decided to review its decision on whether Led Zeppelin plagiarized Stairway to Heaven from the opening guitar riff on Spirit's 1968 track, Taurus. What are we listening to here, Flounder? Which one is this? Is this Led Zeppelin or Taurus?
This is Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven. The fact that you had to ask that question.
I don't know that. I never liked the song. When they started playing this music, I'd try to listen to the freaking Beach Boys so you can all eat me. How about that? I hate this crap. What's that dancing music?
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app. WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
Who will face in November? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Former President Trump tells Fox,
"We prepared for him, but I don't think it's going to matter."
He thinks Democrats might ultimately replace President Biden with the vice president, making it a Trump-Harris contest.
I've actually come to believe that's what they're going to do. I think she's an ineffective person.
The former president also hopes to name his running mate during the Republican convention next week. Now, President Biden is adamant he is not going to leave the race like some House Democrats have called for over concerns about his age and mental ability. They'll have a private meeting today discussing that. Amid new controversy, a Parkinson's disease specialist named Kevin Kennard visited the White House 8 times in 8 months, but the president's doctor, Kevin O'Connor, wrote last night the president has not seen a neurologist outside his annual checkup and has no signs of Parkinson's or related problems. And that is an issue that will be continued to be in the spotlight. And that is also something that the doctor had said last night.
In his letter, O'Connor says Kennard has held regular neurology clinics at the White House Medical Clinic in support of active duty members, adding that his expertise makes him flexible to see a variety of patients and problems.
That's Fox's Madeline Rivera. Now, President Biden gets a big spotlight today with the NATO summit. He'll have a solo news conference on Thursday. The big focus of the summit continuing to help Ukraine battle Russia. It's not an easy day after in Texas, where Hurricane Beryl caused flooding, did damage, and caused more than 2 million power outages.
It's going to feel well over 100 degrees. That is going to be a huge concern as we have so many people without electricity and no air conditioning.
Fox meteorologist Janice Dean Barrow's blamed for 7 deaths in Texas, 1 in Louisiana. It's now a tropical depression over Arkansas, moving toward the Great Lakes. It's also hot out west. Heat advisories and warnings from Arizona to Nevada to Utah, California up to Montana. Some areas could top 110 degrees. America's listening to Fox News.
Well, summer's here and the weather is beautiful. Everyone has a favorite outdoor activity: golf, bike riding, bird watching, long walks. Ask 100 people, you'll get 100 answers. But if everyday aches and pains are keeping you on the sidelines, I have one answer: Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. Wherever you're hurting, back, neck, joints, or muscles, in 3 weeks or less, you'll start to feel the difference all day, every day. So whatever you like to do, swimming, pickleball, hanging out in the garden, Relief Factor can help you feel good again and let you enjoy all your favorite outdoor activities all summer long. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
Wake up with the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3 Atlanta.
Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra until 10. Get the app so you can listen live and on demand. We welcome you to the show, 404-741-1230. If you've got questions, comments, concerns, anything that we've not talked about that you deem important, we would love to hear from you. You can also find us at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms. So easy to find everybody here. You can actually look us up individually if you'd like, at Tug Cowart, at Rhino Extra 106.3, and at Front Office Los. So I don't know if y'all know this. And obviously, Rhino, I think when I first hear it, it is Nude Recreation Week this week. Did you know that?
No.
I didn't either until this morning.
Looks like someone's going to get up on the paddleboard.
That's right.
When I say get up, I don't mean just standing up either.
No, I figure. I had a feeling.
I wonder what Kimmer's going to do.
I don't know.
Because he's going to see that and start getting some ideas.
Do you think Kimmer gets naked a lot?
I know that he pays attention to whatever day it is or whatever week it is. So.
Oh, well, yeah, because they do focus a lot on
There
that.
might be a good episode of Drunk Kimmer tomorrow.
Ooh.
All right, well, okay.
I was near the horse stable, and I took off my britches.
Hey, a girl came in. All right.
That's exactly right. You know what's crazy, though? I would take I'd take Kimmer over Joe Biden every day of the week.
Yeah,
because I feel like Kimmer's so much more well put together than
one
Joe
man
Biden.
has it all together. Yeah. The other one's pretending to have it all together.
No, that's right. Kimmer would do donuts in a Mustang Cobra in the orange deck if we'd let him, and have no qualms with it. But not
while shooting the Desert Eagle.
That's right. Joe Biden doesn't even know where he parked. When's the last time that man's driven?
Oh, God, 40 years ago?
Years.
Oh, no. He took the campaign ad in 2020 of him driving the vet outside of the house.
Yeah, but I bet
you think it was on a trailer and they were pulling it?
Yeah, but you know how they do.
Hollywood movie.
Yeah, you know how they. Yeah. You ever noticed in movies that's the way it works? Like the people that are driving and they're on some sort of truck or how it works. But
they make the hand movements?
Well, yeah, but they do, but they never look at the road. They're always looking at the person they're talking to.
But in reality, whoever makes like when you're going straight, you don't make hand movements. You're just like, you take your hand off and put it underneath the wheel and try to fall asleep.
No, I agree with that 100%. Nude Recreation Week.
I'm all in. This is great.
8th through the 14th. And some people, may be embarrassed or they don't, they're not comfortable going into public without clothes on. There are thousands of nudists that just embrace this and look forward to shedding their clothes and living more naturally. Most people that take off their clothes, you don't want to see without their clothes on. If you've ever been to a nude beach, which I've never been physically on one, I went right to the edge of it in St. Martin because they have a nude beach on the French side of St. Martin. And we waited. I was a young sailor. I had never even, I've read about nude beaches. I'd only, not ever seen one. It's something you'd heard about. It's like mythical place. And so we all, there's like 5 or 6 of us, and we all pull up right next to, we play our, we go to the beach and we put our blankets down, whatever, and our coolers, and, we're going to have some cold pops and watch really good looking women come in and off the nude beach.
Not so much.
Do you know how many good-looking nude women we saw come in and off the nude beach? 0. We saw 0.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
You saw a lot of older people.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
None of them that you want to see nude. And no one that is, that you would want to see naked is ever going to be naked. It's just in public for nude appreciation or recreation week.
My father-in-law talks about this as he jokes around. He's been everywhere around the world. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Chances are he's been there.
Yeah.
And he talked about being in Europe and the one time they ended up at a nude beach. And he was like, nope, no interest, 0.
Yeah. If people want to take their clothes off, that means you don't want to see them. That's the truth. It's just the way it works. I mean, when's the last time you saw a supermodel just show up at a nude beach? Never. It never happens. Joey, you got one time?
I went to a nude beach when I was 16. I was not nude. That would never happen. But
then how'd you get in? I thought that's the rule.
No.
It is in St. Martin.
Oh,
that's the rule.
There's certain areas
I
that
was
you can.
in that area, but it was all a bunch of old people. Tatas down to the floor.
Yeah, look like floats.
And but one girl had him out, and she was smoking.
Okay,
and I was
so
like, this made it all worth it.
I had that one scenario too, but it was at South Beach, which is not supposed to be a nude beach,
but they do get naked.
But people get naked, or at least take their tops off.
Yeah.
And there was a woman from Germany, and she had a magnificent upper body.
Yeah, she was a good-looking lady.
Yeah, and that was about it. The rest of them, I was just like,
I'm fine with you and your nice bikini or one piece or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm fine with you naked too. I just don't care.
Yeah, it's just so rare that anybody that you want to see naked.
Nobody wants to see me naked, but I'm going to be naked.
Yeah, nobody wants to see you.
I don't think most. Let's be honest. I don't know. Well, I guess there are some men, or they may be women now. I don't know, that do want to see men naked. But I don't even think women. Most women don't even want to see men naked. We are not pretty naked.
No,
we are not pretty.
Most
naked.
people aren't pretty naked. I mean,
my girlfriend Erin tells me I'm not pretty naked all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, she's right.
I mean, yeah, but wow.
Okay, she doesn't like direct it.
Okay,
just
good. That
at
makes me feel some better.
More like men. Like
you are so unattractive naked.
Like
this is hollering.
Our equipment, like our Audis, are just not very cool to look at all the time. You know.
I don't want to see them.
We're not very majestic as how we're constructed.
I don't know. We got a YouTube channel. We should have everybody judge us, and everybody just take a turn taking off your clothes. Let's go.
How about no?
Yeah, how about no?
Right.
Yeah. Nobody wants to see me naked.
None of you are fun like Sketch.
That's right. Yeah, I bet he gets into National Nude Day, and nobody wants to see him naked either. But all of a sudden,
apparently somebody did.
Did he make any money? Have we determined if Sketch? He's the
Obviously
social
not.
media influencer that is huge with Gen Z. And all of a sudden, they found out that he did gay porn on OnlyFans.
I had not heard of this person until my NFL draft weekend in April, when the Houston Texans had a pick like in the 4th round, and this guy comes up on stage. And initially, I just thought to myself, "Who is this Sketch?" Now that was like my old man moment where I went, "Who is this influencer? Who is this person?" And then to see what's gone on with a lot of young men around the country, where they're a little bit broken. That Sketch claimed to have an addiction problem, and he did some gay porn.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's all.
It would be more surprising if you told me that was Tug Coward.
Well, yeah, because I promise you I have not.
Because Sketch, let's face it, brother. You know, there's not a whole lot where I thought to myself, "Hey, on my bingo card, gay porn on a Monday," and Sketch did not really.
No,
align.
I didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming either.
He's probably making tons of money now that people like going and finding it, unless they took it down already. I'm sure he did, but I bet he made enough money. I mean, somebody had to see it. Somebody had to be able to pay for it to see that, right?
Do we know if he made
it?
money? Has he talked about that? No? Okay.
No, he hasn't.
Okay. All right. So because he came out really, really early and said, "Hey, that was me. I'm tackling this head on." Probably not in his act voice. In his act, he probably said it.
Was totally in his act.
It was so funny.
It was hilarious.
Okay. Listen to you guys sound in unison.
Yeah.
Wow.
He opened his live stream and goes, "All right, elephant in the room. I got a new haircut."
And then went into, I did gay porn.
I guess I just don't get it. It wasn't that funny to me. I mean,
No, I
I
think
actually
it's
felt
funny.
bad for the kid.
Yeah, I didn't. I still
I'm
feel
talking
bad
about
for
that video.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I
like
didn't see
he
it.
tried to make
I
light
didn't
of it,
see
but
it.
he had to get up and walk away from the camera. He was struggling a little bit. I don't know if it was funny. I don't think it was supposed to. Like he tried to bring it around, but it was kind of sad.
He tried
It
to
was
bring
more
some
sad.
humor to it.
It was sad.
Definitely sad.
But he flat out was like, "That was me."
Yeah,
Good for
which I
He stood up.
absolutely take responsibility for your you know what you've done.
I'd rather him be standing up than on his knees begging.
Yes, that's right.
I
Or on
would
his
rather
knees in
see
general.
what happens when Tug ends up having his nudes get out there.
Oh yeah.
Then he has
Buddy,
to
you've
issue
got
the
no
apology.
concern You've got zero concern.
God, I wish this was like the Maury Povich show, and I'd be like, well, let's welcome in from the Navy a guy who served with Tug back in.
You've got zero worry or zero concern.
They're going to get out there, and then Tug's going to have to issue the apology and talk about how he had an addiction. Seriously. Bit of a problem.
Carlos does a Netflix-like special. Here we are out front of the Black Angus in Puerto Rico, where Tug cowered. Seaman cowered.
Yeah, let me tell you. I remember when at the Black Angus, which is a
it's a brothel.
It's a brothel in San Juan, Puerto Rico.
You thought it was a steakhouse.
He said, I want mine medium rare. They're like, oh no.
Well, yeah. They're like, we can't wait to give it to you medium rare. Yeah, no kidding. No, I remember just figuring it out, and it took me about 30 minutes to figure out what was going on.
Such cute, sweet little Tug.
I was like, wait a minute. Where did, Sailor A, I won't even give him a name. Where did Sailor A go for 30 minutes? And then you notice Sailor B is gone for like 30 minutes. And then all of a sudden, the clouds part and like
it all makes sense.
It all makes sense. I was like, oh God.
Am I in a brothel?
I'm in a whorehouse. What am I going to tell my mama? That's the first thing I thought of. What am I going to tell mama? Because I was going to have to call her. She knew we were pulling into San Juan, Puerto Rico. It was my first ever port visit. And I end up in a brothel.
I really hope that when your nudes come out, that you have to apologize to Mama. You have to call her and be like, Mama, the worst has happened.
Thankfully. Unless somebody has me in a drunken stupor and they, they took off my britches.
Mama, I wasn't paying attention after the show. I was at a country show, and things got crazy, Mama.
Yeah. Don't love me any less, Mama, because I still love you. No, I'm telling you. So anyway, that's the sketch story for today. And if you have kids or grandkids, they love, especially if they're dudes, they love sketch. And it'll be interesting to see where this goes. Now, final thought on it. What does anything for the boys behind the glass? I know yesterday you said, Board Up Joe, didn't change your opinion of him. You're still a fan, and you, Andrew, said maybe
that's right,
does.
Brother.
Now that he's come out, does that change anything at all for y'all?
I probably won't go around saying his catchphrases and stuff just because of
or maybe you should do them more.
But no, I think I'd still maybe watch something every now and then. I mean,
just not as dedicated.
Like even the video, it was sad, but it was funny. So he's still trying to make light of.
Yeah, because
it's his thing. So.
Where are you going elsewhere?
Yeah.
I mean, what else are you going to do?
But you weren't watching him, and this is different about what happens when you're talking about Twitch and influencers. You weren't watching him because you were attracted to him. You're watching because he's funny.
Yeah,
and that doesn't change.
Yeah, no, that's right. I think that's a great point, great observation.
I mean, if you were to tell, some of these influencers make it a point to not let you know that they're married so that you desire them in the way that you do because you're like, oh, she's single and I've subscribed to her page. Right. In this case, sketch just makes you laugh. Now he's going to continue making you laugh.
And it made you laugh in light of everything that's happened. Yeah.
I think it took a lot of strength to
me too.
Day of
I agree
come out on stream live and 100% own up to it.
Yeah.
And he was like, weight off my shoulders, God is good.
Yeah.
I mean, what else can you do?
Did he really say God is good?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Well,
God is good, brother.
Yeah, well, let's hope he's found the Lord because what he was doing was not God.
Well, you don't know who's whatever their path is. You don't. Everyone has a different.
No,
path.
Absolutely. And look, his sin is no greater than mine, and mine no greater than his.
Yeah,
Joe Virgin River. Woo, that path.
I wish we would have found the Lord during positive stories instead of always when it's a negative and affects your life and your money, and then you find. The Lord. Why are you not finding the Lord before you go down that bad path?
I think plenty of people are, but I just don't know that there's a need for it to come out quite as much unless things are chaotic.
Well, but remember, this is a guy who, if you're just telling me what he's been over the last several years, he's been somebody that people have found comfort in, have found comedy in. And just because of what he was doing several years ago doesn't mean he didn't walk that path and find something better to do with his life.
Absolutely. 100% correct.
And I'm glad he did. Like I said, I felt bad for the kid.
Yeah,
I felt bad for the kid. He obviously made a mistake, but he'll be fine.
He's doing
a good
exactly
kid.
Opposite of what Donald Trump is doing. He came out and talked about it head on. Donald Trump's been really, really quiet. And the Democrats, Rhino, cannot figure out why.
Oh, I know. It's such a shock of why. Now, they are distracting because they want to play this game that Well, okay, I guess Biden put this out, and now every one of their useful idiots is going ahead and just repeating this crazy lie that Donald Trump disappeared. Where's he been for the past 10 days? While Joe Biden's been out on 18 appearance, what happened to him? Well, here's what happened to him. Donald Trump doesn't need to save his candidacy. Donald Trump doesn't need to reel his party in for support. Nobody else is asking Donald Trump at the RNC whether or not to step down. That's why you're seeing Joe Biden try to lie, try to influence voters to vote for him, because most of the country has already decided they're not going to vote for him. So that's where Donald Trump has been, and we've talked about it on this show.
My thing is, if he's going to continue letting the thing implode, he's going to continue to benefit himself. And I don't know if that's him being wiser to what media does, to what the people in D.C. do, or does he have really good people around him advising him that way? Either way is fine, but I'm just glad that it's happening the way that it is, because otherwise, the old Donald Trump wouldn't be quiet right now. The old Donald Trump would not be doing what he's doing now, which is nothing.
No. This is a scenario where your opponents are melting down. Don't be part of it.
Right.
Don't get involved in it. It's almost like a fight between the neighbor's dogs. I'm not going over there to get bit. I'm going to stay over here.
And then hope those dogs break up somehow.
Yeah, hopefully they figure that out themselves.
Exactly.
Or, look, there's a ugly house in our neighborhood, and if it were to catch fire, I didn't do my best to put it out, but if it burned all along, I'm going to let it burn. Or, I might just sit there and watch it and call the police and say, hey, help us out, or the fire department. But the reality of it is, why put that fire out if they're doing it to themselves? They started this fire. They wanted to do this. Then guess what? Here you are. You chose the debate. You chose everything you wanted out of this debate. No audience, no questions that, from Donald Trump. You want to make sure that his mic is cut off. You want to make sure everything was stacked in your favor. You fell miserably on a historical level. And then you want to deflect and say, well, where's Donald Trump not talking bad about me? We need him to talk bad so we can turn it around on him. Why would he take that bait?
I think there's going to be an iconic moment that when we look back in political history, we're going to have the moment where Donald Trump, during the debate, said, I don't know what he just said, and I don't think he does know either.
Yeah.
And then left it alone and moved on. And that has become the thing that has resonated.
It's the wisdom, man,
most.
or the advisors, whichever it is, or maybe a combination of the two.
Regardless, it is what is working right now. And the Democrats can do nothing except try and bail water out of this boat. There's going to have to come a time where they sweeten the deal to where maybe Joe considers going away. Because as of now, he's holding them hostage, and I love it.
Yeah, no, it's great.
You're being held hostage by a dementia patient.
I like how
bad
comedic do you
that
have
is.
to be?
It is funny.
I mean, it's almost like I'm being held hostage in a bank by a clown.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
like a dude dressed as a clown
With a squirt gun.
With a squirt gun. I'm being held hostage here.
He's holding his flower out.
But I got Clown Binky who's like, you can't go anywhere.
The gun says bang.
That's exactly right. But you're afraid to move.
And the Democrats are like, what do we do now?
He's armed. He's one of these extremists with the armaments. I bet he's got more guns. They probably say bang too. This is terrible. How did we find ourselves in this situation?
The Democrats are being held hostage by a dementia patient. Oh, God.
And he holds all the cards.
And he holds all the cards.
Legally holds them all.
The reality of it is that they will get to him and get him what he needs to step away. But
Donald Trump doesn't seem to think so.
No, well, you know what? Donald Trump wants to focus on what he needs to focus on right now, which is, you know what? I'm going to go with who's in front of me.
Yeah,
so
which is
continue down that
absolutely.
path.
I think so too.
But regardless of that, his fight is, this is what Joe Biden's done to the country. Here's what I left him, and I'm going to come back in and fix his mess.
That's right. And I pray that is exactly what happens. When we come back on Extra 106.3, we'll knock out the headlines. And Biden went on a media blitz yesterday and let the world know he ain't going anywhere. Next on Extra 106.3. After we're done, Beck, then Clay and Buck, noon to 3, on a local afternoon show with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Legendary voice of the Kimmer is only heard on Extra 106.3.
Atlanta radio legends collide on Extra 106.3. The legend Neil Bortz is live every week with Atlanta legend The Kimmer. Because when you get these two guys together, who knows where we'll end up?
I am shocked. Well, not that shocked.
The Kimmer is live on your drive home every weekday afternoon from 3 to 6. And now Neil Bortz joins this show every week. And if you miss it, catch up anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
Being in an accident really bites. You need people around you that are going to make the whole process easier to deal with. I just described David Van Sant at Van Sant Law. He used to work for the insurance companies. What an advantage. He knows who to call, what to say, and they're not going to pull the wool over his eyes. Give him a call. Van Sant Law, 855-GA-INJURY, vansantlaw.com, 855-GA-INJURY.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons. We've always been Atlanta's best at installing and servicing garage and entry doors, but you would be surprised at how many windows we've installed as well. So we're proud to announce a new division, All Four Seasons Windows. We now have the ability to make sure every opening in your house is safe, energy efficient, and looks darn good. So give us a call today to schedule your free sales consultation. Find out how you can decrease your energy bills and increase the beauty and value of your home with All Four Seasons garage, entry doors, and windows.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
Looking for a sign to start that summer home refresh finally? Look no further than Blinds.com. Save up to 50% right now at our spectacular 4th of July sale. Blinds.com is the better way to shop for custom window treatments. 100% online. No hidden fees and no pushy salespeople in your home. Choose from premium blinds, shades, shutters, and more. We even have outdoor shades for backyard summer get-togethers. Do the measure and install yourself, or let Blinds.com handle it for you. No matter how many window coverings you order, installation is one low cost. Plus, our design experts are always ready to help you make the perfect selection with a free consultation. With over 25 million windows covered and our 100% satisfaction guarantee, you'll rest easy with Blinds.com. Shop Blinds.com's spectacular 4th of July sale now. Save up to 50% plus premium doorbusters. Up to 50% off for a limited time at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Can't afford to fill your grocery bags or gas tank? Fill your day with the best conservative talk for free by downloading the Xtra 1063 app wherever you download your apps.
Doug, Rhino, and Los on Extra 1063's The Morning Extra. Welcome to the show. Morning, y'all. Appreciate you being here. So now that the media has turned on Joe Biden, I mean, it is incredible to see the 180 that has happened with every news outlet, with every person that has been a supporter, with the stupid journalists who pretended that nothing was going on and now are pretending that they're flabbergasted that they've been misled. All of a sudden, you had almost 4 years, 3.5 years now, to make fun of Joe Biden, because that's what late night hosts do. They make fun of whoever's in the office of the president, right? They've always done that. Now, they were more vicious and more brutal with Donald Trump, but it has been kid gloves, hands off completely with Joe Biden until now. Even the late night hosts are going after him.
After the debate, tons of people in the media and in his own party have been calling for Biden to drop out. So Biden just has to go viral, which explains his new Middle East peace proposal. You got to give it that Hawk-Tua spin on that thing.
Yeah. Some high-profile Democrats like Rob Reiner and Stephen King also want Biden to drop out. God, you know things are bad when the guys behind Stand By Me won't stand by you.
I think that Biden debated as well as Abraham Lincoln. If you dug him up right now.
Yeah, the media has spent almost 2 weeks calling on a candidate to drop out of the race, and somehow it's not the convicted felon. Yeah, Biden's brushing everyone off. He's like, hey, people have been telling me not to run for president since 1988. I think I know what I'm doing.
Then Joe assured the governors that he knows what went wrong, saying he needs more sleep. Yes, he is what experts call tie-tie. I guess you could say he's Sleepy Joe.
You got Stephen Colbert quoting Donald Trump now. That is how far Joe Biden has fallen. The late night shows are even taking hits.
Things have changed.
Boy, howdy have they.
Carlos tells you all the time, they will turn on their own. They will turn on their own. Communists always turn on their own when their power is threatened. Joe Biden single-handedly threatened Democrats' control of this country by failing miserably, and now they have to go to their late night friends that they used to be able to go to and go, hey, Joe wants to come on, here are the questions.
Yeah. Because that's what happened with Seth Meyers.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And now they are trying to capitalize on something they should have been capitalizing on for over 4 years. The absolute joke of who Joe Biden really is. They've had so much comedy gold, and they've gotten so attached to, we've got to protect him, that now it just kind of rings hollow to me.
It's like the SNL skit, Los, when they were 3.5 years too late on that one. Had they done that in the height of COVID, where they make fun of wearing the mask and catching COVID to get a week off from work, had they done that during the height of COVID, hysterical. They waited till it was safe, and it's just not funny.
The best comedy should make you uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
Because it causes you to have to analyze what exactly you're laughing at and really reassess what you think about a particular topic. And that is what, especially with the late night shows, didn't want to touch on. Like, could they have been doing this 2 years ago? Absolutely.
Sure.
And it would have been so counterculture to everything you've been told.
Might have even seen a rating or two.
You would have gone, wow, this person's going after the president?
Oh, my goodness.
And by the time you then figure it out, you would have gone back to them and be like, how did y'all know? Like, I still think about it. I'm trying to remember the name of the comedian who was telling jokes about Bill Cosby being a rapist years before anybody.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, well, how did you know? It's like, because everybody knew and nobody would say anything about it.
It was an understood fact in Hollywood.
Yes.
It wasn't a secret. That was a secret to us, But in Hollywood, just like many other things that are secrets out in the open in Hollywood, that just doesn't make it to the mainstream. Did you find it? Who is it?
Hannibal Buress.
Yes, Hannibal Buress.
He was the one telling rape jokes about Bill Cosby, and everyone's looking at him going, oh my God, you can't say that about Bill Cosby. He's like, what?
Oh, yes, I can.
Y'all just don't know.
And I did. Funny stories, man, but just seeing everybody turn the way they have, and it just goes back to what is said all the time, and Los brings it up a lot. The revolution never ends. You just get wrapped up in it.
On to the next one.
That's right. You become the victim of the revolution. But Biden, though, he said he ain't going anywhere. That's what he has told everybody. He said it on Morning Joe. He's said it in his handwritten letter to Congress. Do you think he wrote that letter?
No, he doesn't even write his own Twitter account, which is full of gas and ridiculousness. Exactly. So no, he doesn't write anything. He might write his name and pee in the snow every once in a while, but I don't even know if he can do that anymore.
That'd be difficult.
But yeah, no, look, he is just holding on to whatever he can, whatever power he can until they can broker their deal. There's no way he's going to come out and be like, hey, listen, people of America, I want you to have confidence in our party. But as of right now, yeah, I'm thinking about stepping down. We're just kind of trying to go through it. No, you got to stay strong, because if there's any time for strength for the Biden family, it's right now for Joe Biden to continue to listen to what they're telling him to say and say those things off of the teleprompter, which is, I'm not going anywhere. I am going to fight the elites. And he's fighting for his political life.
But who are the elites? And that is the Obamas, the Clintons.
Sure.
So
all of them.
That should tell you what's going on behind the scenes for sure. Now, I'm not convinced he's stepping down. I'm not convinced of that. I'm not saying it can't happen.
Yeah.
I'm just saying at this point, he still holds all the cards.
Well, yeah, but I don't think, look, he doesn't want to step down. He's going to be forced to step down.
That's possible.
Yeah, again, yes, he holds all the cards. They can't win with him. Now, do I think it's smart to keep him in there? Absolutely. You create less turmoil. And you know what? If you cheat enough, you have a chance to win with this man again.
I think Biden has a chance to win right now.
But if they would make their entire party and all their voters look ridiculous, because their voters aren't going to go for it.
It's possible. It's possible. I just don't see him stepping down as of now. At some point, could they get into the point where they force him airing out the dirty laundry, leaking a medical report, which could happen today, tomorrow, in the near future?
I hesitate to say forced, only because he looks like he's entrenched to be like, you better sweeten this deal.
Yeah.
I think he needs to have incentives. It's Joe Biden, okay? If you find a way to create some sort of deal where, hey, Joe, we got a book deal for you, and it's going to pay you $50 million. Tell your story and your life history. But
go down as a hero.
Exactly. There's going to have to be something along those lines, because just as we've pointed out, because of them rigging their own primaries, they've given the keys to the car to him, and he's looking at them going, you want these back, you're going to have to pay for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, he is... What are you going to scare him with? You're going to scare him with prison time. You're going to scare him with...
China.
Yes. Listen, this is why Hunter Biden wasn't called in to say, hey, listen, this is the topics I want you to hit on, or, hey, this is how we're going to do it. This is what I want you to do.
Great advisor.
No, Hunter was called in because they said, Hunter, we need to know everything that will catch us. The things that we told you don't tell us, now we need to know.
He's a crackhead. He can't remember all
right. Well, we want to, Hunter, we're going to do this. Joe's going to step down, but this is what we need first. We're going to protect you. We're going to make sure that everything's dropped, because if they install, because maybe they don't even know who they're going to install. Maybe they think it is going to be Kamala. We need to make sure Kamala's going to pardon you, Hunter. We also want to make sure that we are protected with the people that we've empowered to go against our political opponents, to make sure they don't come after us for the documents case, to make sure they don't come after us for Burisma and everything else that we've done in corruption. So let's go ahead, before we give them anything, before they force us out, these are our demands, otherwise we hold on to power. That's what they're doing.
The logical step is what we're talking about. But I also compare this to the Fuhrer bunker. And this was the end of what happened in Nazi Germany, when you had Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun and everybody else down in that bunker. And the orders were fight to the last man, fight till everything is done. they basically were saying, burn down the entire country around us, and then we're going to kill ourselves. That's basically what they did. And the crazy part about this is that as much as we look at Joe Biden and say, you know, Joe, we might go after your son, he's looking at it and saying, I'll just pardon him.
Yeah, right. Because that's where I feel like, because I don't think he's going to willingly step down. I don't even think I don't even think the deal could be good enough.
And the letter that he had yesterday
is correct.
Is very much, let's burn it all down. We're going to fight to the last man. We're staying in the Fuhrer bunker until you come and get us.
Yeah.
That's the feeling I get, because the logical step is everything Rhino's telling you. The logical step is, let me take my payday, let me do what I'm going to do, let me move on. I just don't think that family is interested in the logical step.
Because they've got all the money they can use. They have built people out of billions.
If you threaten Joe with, hey, we know this scandal that you're a part of, here's how you made all this money, and he's going to go.
Shell companies.
And he just goes, yeah, I'm just going to pardon myself. And you go, what? That'll kill your career. It's like, so?
See, my career's over, and I'm not even going to live that long. But then on top of that, if they do that, they're all going down with him because they knew about it too.
That's the murder-suicide pact of yesterday's letter.
It's not like there's anybody that's clean in this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, listen, the one thing is that Joe Biden, as much as you guys think he has all this, he doesn't. He doesn't have this information. Jill is running this at this point. You really think he's smart enough to come up with all this? No, exactly.
But she's just as committed to this. She's just committed to it.
Of course, Jill's just as committed to this. So you guys think that he'll be standing on that stage at the DNC in Chicago?
I'm not convinced he won't be. At this point, I'm not convinced he won't be.
I thought this was interesting. It's from Benji Sarlin, Washington Post. And he basically said, the Biden defense as of now is mutually assured destruction. If you come after me, we burn this whole thing down.
He's got all the cards,
and
man.
it's Jonestown, man.
Yeah, and if you think about, him throwing out the word elites, that was programmed into him.
You're right, it was. That's exactly right.
That's his warning shot to them.
That's exactly right.
And that's where, we're going to go back and forth on this for days. I personally think they are going to take him out of this race.
They're going to keep at it.
They're going to try. Yeah. They're definitely trying.
And they are going to be able to protect. Look, they've lied to us for so long about him. You don't think they can continue to lie and say, look, this guy has dementia. Obviously, it has dementia. They're going to pull this guy down as far as fast as they can.
That's why I was talking about the leaked doctor's report that confirms.
Yeah.
That would be a way.
Well, last Wednesday, we had the New York Times leaking hey, Biden's thinking about getting out of the race. And, of course, then he had to have the phone call. Right. By the time we get to Monday, by the time we are after the show, the New York Times is running with hey, listen, there's somebody who deals with Parkinson's disease, and they've been to the White House this many times. There's going to be another one today.
Yeah.
There'll be another one tomorrow. But they're going to keep at it.
But when the actual document that says he is diagnosed with insert here whatever it is, that may be the final straw, because then they're fair game to use the 25th.
Yeah, I think this has been going back and forth for a long time, because there's a reason that he will not, and Jill will not allow him to take a cognitive test. He has avoided that, which would be so easy for him to go, okay, you know what? You're right. I'm going to prove it, and I'm going to take this test in front of everyone. They're making sure he doesn't take this test. More leverage against them to say, you're not going to even get me on that.
It's the idea that if I've done something wrong, let's say, for instance, I really like marijuana, and you decide to drug test me, well, you're probably going to get me popped there.
Yeah.
But if I just say I'm not taking a test,
right,
then you never know.
Evidence. Yeah. Or if you're like, hey, I'm busy today, I got a few days, like maybe next week. If it's okay, I'll take it next week. I'm going to be like,
or he's going
to Cloud 9 to get him some of that cleaner stuff.
If you're willing to build 20-25 shell companies, I have no doubt that you've made it a point. Your medical records are sealed, or you haven't done them.
Yeah,
hey, if we test him, we're going to find out he's, Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs.
Right.
Okay. No. Let's not test him, okay?
Exactly.
8 o'clock hours brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning.
Are you drinking tonight? No. Take this breathalyzer. No, I'm going to call Ray. I got to call Ray. I'm fine, though. I'm fine.
You'll never know, because you'll never test me.
Central Heating and Air Conditioning brings you the 8 o'clock hour. 770-GET-HEAT. CentralHeat.com. They are your Atlanta carrier experts. When we come back, the SAVE Act is the target of the Biden administration and the Democrats, because getting rid of that might save their grip on power in America. Next on Extra 106.3.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays. Anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
Tax season can be stressful, but it's also a wake-up call. It's time to think beyond April and plan for your future. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we're not just advisors, we're your partners in building a secure retirement. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we understand the challenges Georgians face. That's why we offer personalized strategies to maximize your retirement income, minimize taxes, and ensure you never outlive your assets. Join the Master Plan family and let us guide you through every financial milestone. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your appointment today. Master Plan Retirement Consultants, where your journey and destination are both important. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Are you concerned about securing your family's future and assets? Look no further than Nelson Elder Care Law. As a family-owned and family-focused firm, we offer absolute assurance and peace of mind through our comprehensive asset protection services. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com to explore how we can safeguard your legacy and provide tailored solutions for your family's well-being.
Neil Borch here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now, I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, cpapsetc.com.
Have you heard about Sonder and their Georgia-based Medicare Advantage health plans? Sonder Health Plans is committed to revolutionizing healthcare, making it straightforward, personal, and affordable. Call them and ask if you qualify for their fantastic $400 grocery card offer and $0 premiums. They've even got their own radio show and podcast called Weekend Wellness, dedicated to keeping all Georgians healthy and happy at every age. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
Get ready. Diamonds Direct will forever change the way you shop for jewelry. With over 80 years experience in direct sourcing, Diamonds Direct is finally opening in Atlanta. Customers across the Southeast know Diamonds Direct for their unbeatable selection and prices, but return again and again because of their unparalleled customer experience. The experts at Diamonds Direct are your advocate in the dizzying world of diamonds, ensuring you are nothing shy of confident in your purchase. How do they do it? With the best selection, the best quality, and the best price. In fact, Diamonds Direct guarantees they won't just meet any local price, they'll beat it. So if you can dream it, Diamonds Direct can deliver it. Build your own engagement ring, tap into their custom design studio, or choose from hundreds of ready-to-wear styles. No other jeweler can maximize your budget like Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct, coming soon to Buckhead and ready to amaze Atlanta with the best selection, the best quality, the best price, and the best people guaranteed.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines. Presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
All right, here are your top stories in the state of Georgia for today, Tuesday, July 9th. DeKalb County fire officials are currently at an apartment complex on Snapfinger Woods Drive, investigating a fire that left one man dead. Investigators believe the fire started in a bedroom of the apartment. They found a disabled man in his laundry room and rushed him to the hospital where he later died. The cause of the fire remains unknown. Hall County deputies are looking for 20-year-old Zachary Rutledge of Winder after he went swimming with his friends at haunted Lake Lanier. Rutledge went missing after his two friends lost sight of him at Burton Mill Park on Lake Lanier. Deputies say it's possible Rutledge swam back to shore and left the park, but no one has heard from him. And in sports, it took 11 innings for the Braves to secure a win against the Arizona Diamondbacks last night. Catcher Sean Murphy hit a game-tying home run in the ninth inning, and All-Star Marcell Ozuna drove in the game winner, giving the Braves a 5-4 victory. Charlie Morton will be on the mound tonight for Game 2. First pitch scheduled for 9:40. You can catch all the action on our sister station, 680 The Fan.
The SAVE Act was supposed to keep illegal immigrants from voting in America's elections because they don't have the right to vote in America's elections. They don't have the right to be in the country, but much less vote. Now the White House is actively saying we are going to veto this. We're going to squash this regardless. This is the Hail Mary, Los. This is the Hail Mary.
This is the one thing that polls don't catch, because how do you poll illegals? How do you poll people that are not supposed to be here? They already don't want to take part in anything that looks official. When you understand that people were talking about how they've gone for temporary licenses at the DMV and then have been registered to vote even though they don't have legal status to do so, this has to be the Hail Mary. This is the one thing that when you look around at all the polling, and Donald Trump is up by such a substantial amount right now, when you're talking about 6 or 8 points, that's a landslide when it comes to this country. And yet, their plan as of now is maybe they can get it close by seeing if they can win the illegal vote. It's the only thing that makes any sense.
I find it fascinating because I feel like even some Democrats, and maybe I'm wrong about this, care about the country. They like the country. They and maybe I'm naive to believe this, but I felt like there's some element of the Democrat Party and Democrat voters that would be against this. And yet, as it's happening, I've seen no one push back. I've seen no one go, no, it's not right. We don't need to be doing this. And so it just proved me wrong in my hope and desire for there to be goodness in Democrat voters. I've yet to find any.
Well, think about how ridiculous it is that I need to show legal ID to get on a plane. I don't need to.
Or to open cable. Like if you go buy cable.
Or to go get your EBT cards.
Yes. That's
and
right.
to get all your money, to get your cigarettes, to get your 40s, to get your beer, to get everything that we get every single day. I have to show an ID for. And I'm old. And I'm wrinkly, and I still show my ID every single time. So why is it such a problem to actually be a citizen and have to vote in an election? That protects all of us. Because, again, the Democrats are so short-sighted. If the Republicans decide to change their platform and go, you know what? Since you won't let us, get rid of these 15 million, we're going to give them handouts, and they're going to start voting for us. So let's manipulate it that way. No, this is a bad, bad scenario.
I just saw where migrants are being cleared from Boston's Logan Airport. And this is a sanctuary city. This is a place where these people have been welcomed with open arms. So when I see that, I'm like, well, why would they be clearing the airport at a sanctuary city? This seems to be hand in glove. It seems to be what you say you're in support of. And then it kind of goes with the whole allowing illegals to vote. They're saying no. They're saying yes. Essentially, what am I saying? They're saying yes. You can do this, even though it's not right. We're going to let you do it. Just like they're saying we're going to kick you out of the airport, even though we invited you here.
All right, write this down. I want you to, everybody in your mind, make a mental note about all of this stuff, because all of the handouts, all of the money that's being passed to these people, by the time we get past November of 2024. That stuff will be over. Mm-hmm. And watch the amount of crime and destitute and the amount of people that are miserable about being in this country, and watch the crazy stuff that starts to happen. That's how this will all play out. And you will sit back and go like, well, why aren't they being taken care of anymore? Because they were used for an election, right. And now they move on to the next thing.
They are doing what you've seen transpire in France and the UK. See, they allowed this illegal immigration to come in. And these Islamic jihadists that they've allowed to take over their government at this point. Okay? When you look at what happened in France and you saw the violence that happened when they lost the first round, look what they did to that city. They burnt it down. They started rioting. That was the same exact group that, now at that point, those were illegal immigrants. Not quite the same as ours that are coming from South America. Theirs are coming from Islamic countries. They now control a lot of that country. That's a scary thought. But that's the same thing that they want to do here. Bring them in, turn them into what they want them to be, and then take over the government. It's a plan. It's a slow plan, and they're going to continue down that path and try to get it done. And we have to stop it at every single stop that we can. Keep them out of our country, bring in the ones that can help us, and then go ahead and deport the ones that are nothing but criminals.
But put it on the Democrats to have their name attached to a vote. This is something that the House Republicans should be passing. They should then send it on over the Senate. I would imagine they'll probably pass it too, and then have Joe Biden have to use the veto power in order to say, I will not add this extra, because they're making it sound like, well, our elections are already so secure, we don't have to worry about anything. Right. Well, then let's add an extra layer of protection, and let's see if the president will vote for it.
Yeah.
Well, he's not going to. I mean,
he already said he's going to veto it if it comes across.
Good, but you have to put your name to it.
I love that. His name to it, but it ain't going to matter. You think that's going to change the vote of a Democrat?
It's strictly the perception.
No,
this is
I
just
get
a
it.
game.
This is a political game going into an election season, and Carlos is 100% right.
Just play the game.
Make them own it. We see the Democrats do it so well so many times, where they put something through and force really bad legislation and then make the Republicans vote no against it, and then turn it around and say, well, that's because they hate babies. That's because they hate immigrants.
I hate women.
That's because they're women. Right, exactly. That's the game they continue to play. That's why I said we got to continue to play this game. The Republicans have not done a good job at that at all while controlling the House. They've got good legislation on H.R. 2. They allowed the Senate to kill it quietly and then put something else in and make the Republicans look bad on immigration. Do the same thing here.
Democrats are really smart in the way, and your examples are exactly right. They'll do it a certain way so they can turn it and use it as political capital. I don't think the Republicans are smart enough to do that. The Democrats the Democrats own everything they say. They talk about how they won't let illegals vote. It's not like a new thing. So they're already admitting it.
Yeah,
they'll probably sign on.
But for as dirty as the left calls the Republicans, they play too fair. The Republicans try to play by the rules, thinking that the left and other people on that party or independents will look at that and go, well, they took the moral high ground on that one. Well, they don't need to. What they need to do is save this country. What they need to do is shut this border down and save their constituents. But they're too afraid to not play the games that the Democrats play. They're like, well, we're going to do it in a formal way, and I'm going to do it this way. And Mike Johnson has been caught in that how many times now, where he looks like a complete idiot. I'm going to use diplomacy and go sit with Biden and talk to him about this bill. And then he gets beat.
Yeah, but you can't complain about not playing by the rules and then not play by the rules. It's up to you. You either have to say, we are going to throw out the rules and we're not doing that anymore, and we're going to play just like them. But you can't then complain about the Democrats doing it.
And also understand that you have Joe Biden at the weakest position he's ever been during his presidency. That 36% approval rating, plus having his own party going after him, they can send out whatever they want to send out about, we'll veto this, or we don't believe, we will not back this. Put the pressure on.
Yeah.
Because this is so much of the opportunity where, they will get to do the whole, you know what, we're going to make sure we're going to veto this thing and it'll never go through. You still got to win an election, brother.
Right.
And certain things are going to start happening that you are not going to expect to have to go along with.
Right.
I hope that's right, man. I certainly do.
Let him veto it and then take to the airwaves and say, this man doesn't want your family to be safe. Put up pictures of Lake and Riley. Play all the same propaganda games they play.
But that's not even breaking the rules. That's just being blatantly honest and using what's happened to your advantage.
But when Marjorie Taylor Greene or Matt Gaetz come out and be that way and tell the truth, look who doesn't stand behind them.
No, you're exactly right.
The elites of the Republican Party.
The Republicans are terrible about using their political capital for gain. Awful about it. Morning Xtra at Extra 106.3 when we come back. The only way to beat Trump in November is to lie and stoke the flames of fear, which, I mean, goodness gracious, they do that all the time. It won't be anything new. 8 o'clock hours brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts, 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. Neil Bortz Report, Fox News Update, more of the Morning Xtra.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Xtra 106.3.
With this Democrat election debacle, things look pretty grim for the United States. So maybe today, some positive notes about what's going on in the U.S. Sometimes you read the newspapers, you think that China and Russia are winning the day. But let's think about it. Andy Kessler, writing in the Wall Street Journal, he points out that technology is the driver of global growth. And we have 6 U.S.-based technology companies that are worth more than $1 trillion. This far surpasses any other nation. Why? Because the United States enables innovation, for now anyway, while the rest of the world, with very few exceptions, is mired in statism. And the dollar is still the reserve currency for the world. As Kessler points out, try spending Chinese money in Costa Rica. Also, the United States is oil independent. Lift Joe Biden's ban on liquefied natural gas, and we could export enough LNG to Europe and Japan to make them independent of Russia and the Middle East. Economic growth. From 2010 to 2023, the cumulative economic growth in the U.S., 34% versus 21% for the European Union. And as Kessler explains, the why is very simple. Capital flows to where it is treated best. Capital looks for opportunity, merit, and upside. For now, that's the United States. It'll stay that way if we can keep Democrats out of control. People with talent want to come to the United States to use that talent to build themselves and their companies. We got problems, but we're still number one. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Hey guys, I'm Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly. Have you heard the buzz about Seeds of Excellence Christian Academy?
Thanks, Tara. I'm Dr. Eugene Wallace, CEO and head of schools of Seeds of Excellence Christian Academy in Austell, Georgia. We are Christian, scholarly, affordable, and relational. Seeds of Excellence is committed to nurturing the whole child, spirit, mind, and body. From daily Bible classes to weekly chapel services, advanced technology, world languages, fine arts, athletics, national competitions, and a dedicated team of great professionals, our scholars from 6 weeks to 8th grade receive quality care through a premier education grounded in Christian worldviews. By blending the Abeka curriculum with Georgia state standards, we offer a comprehensive and faith-based learning environment that equips our scholars for success. We are thrilled to partner with Our Town Monthly. We want everyone in the community to read all about us.
You're right, Doc. Seeds of Excellence is a perfect fit. Friends, explore SOECA.net and experience the difference today.
From the latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust, your best new follow on social media is Extra 1063. We're at XTRA 1063 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events and so much more. Follow at Extra 1063 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice. WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 9 a.m. hour is presented by Southern Exteriors. Quality.
House Democrats will huddle up this hour in private. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Amid all the worry about President Biden's mental fitness.
He is not leaving this race. He is in this race, and I support him.
Joe Biden is our president, and we're going to support him.
That's Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Congressman Andre Carson, but Politico reports a growing number are worried.
They say dozens more lawmakers, even some who say they are with Biden, are harboring serious doubts now about their nominee in private, according to interviews with more than 30 folks on Capitol Hill. There is widespread anxiety over which route would be worse, sticking with Biden or instead trying to toss him out.
That's Fox's Jillian Turner at the White House. The president's doctor is dismissing 8 White House visits in 8 months by a Parkinson's specialist, saying that the president has no signs of Parkinson's or related ailments. Former President Trump tells Fox he believes Vice President Harris will ultimately be his opponent.
We're heading into World War III, in my opinion, with this man semi-running things, because he's not running things.
Now, President Biden will gather with U.S. allies today for a NATO summit in Washington. Fox's Jessica Rosenthal reports.
White House National Security Council spokesman John Kirby was asked if the president needs to do anything to calm the concerns of European leaders during this NATO summit following his debate performance.
I think the question presupposes the notion that they need to be reassured of American leadership and President Biden's commitment, and I don't believe that's the case. We're not picking up any signs of that from our allies at all. Quite the contrary.
Now, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky is also in Washington. He'll speak get the Reagan Institute today. A big focus of the summit is helping Ukraine battle Russia as search and rescue continues after Russian missile attacks hit 5 cities this week, killing at least 42 people, some at a children's hospital bombed in Kyiv. Closing arguments will continue this morning at Democratic Senator Bob Menendez's bribery trial, while jury selection starts today at Alec Baldwin's trial. The actor charged with involuntary manslaughter for shooting death while filming the movie Rust in New Mexico. America's listening to Fox News.
Well, summer's here and the weather is beautiful. Everyone has a favorite outdoor activity: golf, bike riding, bird watching, long walks. Ask 100 people, you'll get 100 answers. But if everyday aches and pains are keeping you on the sidelines, I have one answer: Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. Wherever you're hurting, back, neck, joints, or muscles, in 3 weeks or less, you'll start to feel the difference all day, every day. So whatever you like to do, swimming, pickleball, hanging out in the garden, Relief Factor can help you feel good again and let you enjoy all your favorite outdoor activities all summer long. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
For hourly Fox News updates and the best in conservative news and talk, keep it on Extra 106.3 or download the Extra 106.3 app.
Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra until 10. This is the bonus hour. Hoping that you've enjoyed the show so far. If you missed any of it, you can go back and listen to it on the Extra 106.3 app. It is available for Apple and Android. Just search for XTRA 106.3 FM Atlanta wherever you download your apps, and you can listen to anything that we've talked about. And my, oh my, we have talked about a lot this morning. So go back and listen to it, or just jump into the conversation now because we got a solid hour left. And we got everything from secret meetings that the Democrats are holding in D.C. on the future of Biden. And it's so funny because it's on the monitor here in the studio, and it was a Fox News headline, breaking news, and they're holding a secret meeting. And I was like, well, how secret could it possibly be if you're reporting on it? You know? And then now I've seen that the
closed door.
Yeah, now
Let's fix that.
They must have figured out how stupid that sounded and said, oh, now it is a House Democrat closed door meeting.
They got interns too there, huh?
I reckon. Intern Andrew ain't making that mistake.
No.
He's not saying a secret meeting.
But like Joe
as he broadcasts it.
Secret meeting that we all know the location of and what is going on.
Right.
I mean,
it's so secret.
Granted, what they're going to talk about, they're going to try and.
Fair enough.
But the stuff just leaks out anyway.
Yeah. And is that really a secret? You know what the discussion is. How do we get Biden out? I mean, that's the conversation.
Yeah, I think the question now is, hey, we're going to get Biden out. Now, how do we save ourselves? How do we continue down? What's the platform we're going to run with on, hey, once we get Biden, where are we going with it? What are we doing with the platform? How do we attack Trump? How do we bring Trump down and the MAGA extremists? That's what their meeting's going to be about. They don't, I don't know if they're going to vote and go, but again, like you guys said, Biden holds all the cards. No matter what they do in this meeting, it doesn't matter to Biden's.
There's only one way out.
Yeah.
It's 25th Amendment.
And that if they leak the documents that show he has dementia or he has Parkinson's, then you are free to use the 25th, and you would be looked down upon. It would be derelict of duty not to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it still requires a majority of your cabinet and the vice president. Mm-hmm. This isn't something that Congress can just go ahead and handle.
Agreed. No, but
the elites have to handle this.
You're asking the coup to be from within the White House.
And I expect, though, if those documents are leaked and there is solid, we all know it, but if those documents showing a doctor's signature saying that this man has those conditions, then, you're derelict of duty not to do it. And I'm not pulling for it. I want Biden in there. I think it's better for us to win.
I think it's dangerous for the country to be led by somebody with this sort of ailment.
It is.
Now, with that being said, they don't care.
No.
Okay?
No, you're right.
I mean, we actually had Whoopi Goldberg talk about how she'll vote for him even if he's pooping his pants.
We have the audio. Yeah. You want to hear it? Yeah. Cue it up real quick.
I don't care if he's pooped his pants. I don't care if he can't put a sentence together. Show me he can't do the job, and then I'll say, okay, maybe it's time to go.
He can't do his job.
Well, but
he can't do the job. You've been shown that. You just,
of course, you're
are
choosing
blind
not to see
to it.
But I think she's waiting on the doctor's paperwork.
No, they're waiting on fear of Donald Trump.
That won't matter.
That's what this is.
But that would trigger the 25th. That would give you a free and open road to say this dude is incapable
Again,
officially.
The question becomes, who in his cabinet will turn on him?
Kamala. I think she wants to be she wants to be president.
Yeah,
she would do it in a minute. But again, and take the politics out of it. If you are in that cabinet, even you're a Joe Biden guy, and he is officially diagnosed with dementia and with Parkinson's or one or the other, and you don't do it, you're derelict of your duty.
I believe she's been talking behind his back anyway about this. Listen, she's used to being on her back, but she also is used to stabbing people in the back. So I think either way, this is going to happen by her hands, or she's going to be a big part of it. Her and Jill are not friends. Jill and her fight, it's public record that they don't like each other, and there's good reason. Good reason. The same woman who, during the campaign, called Joe Biden a racist, they were both put in a position. Neither one of them like each other. I think she would go behind the back. But again, she doesn't control this. It's the elites. And the elites will tell his staff what they're going to do.
I want to work through this by the numbers here, Tug.
Mm-hmm.
So on day one, did we basically open up our border to the rest of the world?
Yes.
All right. Did we basically cut off our nose and end our energy independence?
Yes, we did.
All right. Have we made it a point to have every single crazy-looking trans and every other character run through this White House?
Yes.
Did we actually have somebody who actually worked there who was stealing women's luggage?
Yes.
All right. Did we actually have somebody in a Senate room decide to have sex and then film it with their boyfriend?
Yeah.
Did we have cocaine in the White House?
Yes.
Yep. So at what point amongst this group do you think that there is an honor in doing their duty?
Right.
You're talking about dereliction of duty.
I know that, but I'm saying in a normal scenario.
You're asking for morals out of a group that has shown you they're immoral.
Yeah. Antony Blinken, Janet Yellen, Lloyd Austin, Merrick Garland.
Tell me which one of tell me the majority of them with the vice president that would turn on even when they have, if there is a said test, and it comes back written in Crayola, and Joe Biden then bit off a piece of the page because he's so out of it, and they show it to these people. Tell me which one of them are going, you know what, I can't wait to get rid of my power.
I think they're all power hungry, and I think they'll all, if the Democrat elites say do it, and we have the documentation from a doctor signed by the Walter Reed physician that's been visiting, dude, every one of these dudes and every one of these people will turn on him because they're trying to save their own hide.
Yeah, they'll all turn on him, every single one of them, and they know that. That's why they're having their own meetings.
They're not going to step out until the paper is out there.
They didn't call Ron Klain to come in and help. They called Hunter Biden to come in and help. Ron Klain is the mastermind of getting Joe Biden into this office. They didn't call him. It's Jill, Hunter, and Joe on their own right now. So, yeah, they'll all turn on him as soon as they realize, hey, it's better for us, and the elites tell them to. But Carlos is absolutely right. None of the voters are going to sit there and go, oh, yeah.
No, 86% of voters are saying they will vote for Biden as it sits now.
Of course, because they don't care about, they are so lost in the lies that Donald Trump's the bad guy and that that Joe Biden's going to bring decency back to the White House. And Carlos gave you every reason why. There's no decency in the White House. It's disgusting what they've done, and it's turned into a complete circus.
This truly is a murder-suicide pact. This is truly mutually assured destruction, because the down-ballot Democrats recognize if Joe stays in, we're toast.
Yep.
So the idea is, okay, well, how do we get him out of there? Well, the problem is he, his son, his wife have zero interest in leaving. And so when you're getting these letters going back and forth, it's essentially Joe telling you, I have the bomb. I'm sitting on the trigger. If you would like to come and get this from me, I'm going to kill us all.
I'm killing us, everyone. Oh, I agree with that. But I think those actually kind of work together. I do, because Kamala Harris is no saint. She is power hungry. She's proven that. And these people see her as the way to get rid of him.
But it's also momentary because she's less popular than he is.
Oh, I know that. I know that. You know that. We all know that.
Yeah, that's the problem.
She's willing to take the risk, I believe. If their evidence is there, if they produce a leaked document that a doctor has signed, she would turn on him.
This is how it works. Carlos, you tell me, I mean, am I wrong? Here's what'll happen. They'll use Kamala Harris to do whatever they want. Let's say that does come back and they do get the paperwork.
Because that's the only option.
Hey, let's go ahead and let's do this. And then when she does their bidding, what do they do to her once they realize she can't win and her popularity is out of the legs?
Same thing.
The same exact thing to her.
Off of that vein, and I want you guys to put yourself in a different mindset. I know I'm going to ask you to change your brains here.
Okay.
Y'all are both now Joe Scarborough. And what is Joe Scarborough? What does he think about Joe Biden? Joe's the greatest.
Yeah. He still says he's the greatest. That's the reason he put him on the show yesterday morning.
Joe's the man. Joe's this. What happens when Kamala goes after him? Mm-hmm. You want to see about the backlash? Because but
that's already happened.
What does Joe do? But Joe now becomes a Kamala fan?
But no, what I'm saying is that the nursery rhyme Democrat, because those people exist too. The ones that they listen to the tales every single day, and Joe's the greatest, and Joe's this and this, and Joe's amazing. When they suddenly hear that Kamala went after him to go get his position using the 25th Amendment, man, they turn on their party. They turn on him because they hold Joe in this iconic status. I'm saying it's just hard to think about in those terms, but that's the way they view him.
There's a handful of people that will do that, but at the same time, there's going to be so many Democrats that are so glad that Joe Biden is off the ticket because they believe he's incompetent and unable to do this, and they see Kamala as the savior. They will see her as the savior.
No, I don't know about that.
The power end of this.
I think he's right.
The power end of this looks at it and says, we got to get rid of him because this is going to help us. But I'm just telling you, the everyday Democrat who is not inundated in this the same way that we are, look at Joe as Joe's been vice president. He's been a senator. He's been the epitome of everything we've wanted.
And they've been told for 3.5 years that he's the greatest.
50 years.
I agree with that.
So when Kamala goes after him and they do this in the 25th, you're going to have them show how angry they are.
They're going to get on national television.
Even though they know he's riding with Crayola.
They are going to get on national television and tell you how great Joe has been, and it's unfortunate that now the diagnosis has been made public, that they're doing what's best for Joe.
Of course.
It is going to be a heartfelt, we love Joe, we're doing this for his own good. Anymore. He can't do this anymore. We want him to be able to, but he just can't.
But it falls short because everybody knows this has been going on for so long. So you've been a line of this. And what I like what he said, because nobody likes a rat. And if Kamala Harris, especially in the communities that they're looking to engage, they don't like rats. It is better to kill someone than actually rat on someone in a lot. Look, in the Italian community, if you're a rat, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
You went after the boss.
You went after the boss, and that's what they're doing. They love the fact that Joe Biden beat Donald Trump. That rings true to them, whether or not he actually beat him.
I agree with that.
And that's why I'm asking you guys to kind of look at this in the way that's how they view Joe. In the same way that if anybody in the state of Florida went after Ron DeSantis, I'd be like, to hell with that person. Especially if they're a Republican, I'd be like,
But we're still talking about a man who has dementia and Parkinson's. We expect.
And yes, I'm right there with you. But what I'm pointing out is that even if all this, and again, we've known about it, we've talked about it for 3 years. We know this all to be true. Okay, there's no debating that. That's how it is. Even if it was in a document, even if Moses came down with tablets saying it's dementia, it's Parkinson's, and it's all of this, the only way still is 25th.
I agree,
I think which means you have to have these people within his administration turn on him in this way, and I think that makes them less popular because of the love they have for Joe. That's just
they can't win with Kamala. They can't win this way. They got to remember
because he would have to resign in order to maintain this thing, and I don't think he has any interest in doing that.
No, I agree with that part, but I'm saying when you invoke the 25th, though, you're going to get a media support unit like you've never had or at least since the Biden administration. They're going to present this as let him down easy.
Listen.
He's just not capable. He's got dementia. He doesn't realize he's not capable. We love Joe. We're doing this for Joe's best interest.
They blame Jill for hiding all the medical information.
Now, they might do that. Absolutely. I'm not saying there won't be casualties because there will be.
But it is going to ring hollow to a lot of people based on that.
And it may. But I'm
because
not,
this
but
has
I
been
think
going
that's an
on.
angle.
Yeah, but you've sat and you've told. Hold on. So I'm supposed to listen to you now, KJP, and everybody else who's told me he is better.
That's what they're telling you right now. You're supposed to believe them that they didn't know.
Absolutely. Yesterday, they put out Kevin O'Connor, doctor's orders that he is perfectly fine. You think people believe that? No. But he's not Donald Trump.
Right.
He's not Donald Trump.
Absolutely. But
Whoopi Goldberg just told you they don't care. If they replace him, now she'll jump on Kamala
for sure. But that's what she ended with.
They're not
if you
gonna run
show
Kamala.
me proof, then I'll change my mind. That's what the last part of the quote said.
Yeah.
I don't care if he's pooping his pants or can't put together a sentence. Unless you show me proof, then I'm on board with Joe. If you show me proof, then I might say, okay.
Yeah, they will say whatever they need to say at this point to feed their audience, their housefraus, as Carlos loves to call them. They'll say whatever they need to until the point where they'll switch like they usually do. This is going to be the best story of maybe 100 years. 100
It's going to be
years.
fascinating to see how it plays out.
We can't, all senses say they should sack him right now. There's no chance he has to win. But they know what they've got in their pocket. Illegal voting, ballot drop boxes. They're already in Atlanta getting Stacey Abrams and her fair fight to go out there and register and do whatever they can. They've already done what they did in 2020 and were able to hide the things that they've done. They are on a secondary plan
Joe
right
can
now.
win. I still
of course
believe
he
Joe can win.
He won the
do
first
believe it.
time as a dead man.
I believe he can. Los, do you believe that Joe can win still to this moment?
I think just given the numbers, because again, we have not seen a poll where you have Joe Biden of late within 5-6 points.
Yes, there is. The new Bloomberg that's out.
So what ends up happening is that if you're telling me it's a close election, then yeah, we saw this in 2020. There are games that can be played, and yes, Joe Biden can win.
I think so too.
If you're telling me this is a legitimate, straight up,
can't win.
With there's always going to be cheating in every election.
For sure.
Okay,
Without
that's just
a
how
doubt.
there's always going to be
Without a
cheating. But you have to have an overwhelming amount of cheating. Now, if you want to believe some of the audits that have happened, that there were 600,000 Biden votes, and not one of them went for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
I'm not
pretty
saying
hardcore
only-
cheating. I'm not saying, but it can happen if you have a closer election because there's only a handful of counties that actually decide this thing.
And there's only a handful of people who haven't decided too.
Yeah, I think you're going to be watched a lot more when it comes to tabulating the votes through these computers. So I don't think you're going to be able to get those numbers. The other thing you're losing is all the drop boxes. Yeah, they can have them in Minnesota and certain areas. Yeah,
Wisconsin,
they don't
and
have
Minnesota.
them. Right, they don't have them in New York, Atlanta, Alabama, like we did in 2020. They had them everywhere.
But
so they're not going to be able to run
Wisconsin
that again.
and those states in Minnesota, those are important.
They just need their swing states.
That's what I'm
to
saying.
win
Those
again.
are two swing states.
Yeah,
I mean, if you
absolutely.
pick those up, I mean that puts you in a
But
really
again, it's
good
not
position.
statewide right now.
No, I know.
And keep in mind, too, if you have a couple of these states, like, for instance, New Jersey or New York or Pennsylvania, these are the ones that you say, all right, they're blue no matter what. All right, what happens when one of them goes to Donald Trump? It changes the whole
Michigan,
map.
they're already saying Michigan is out of reach for Joe Biden.
It is wild to see what happens to this election if that occurs. So to me, as the Democrats are meeting, even as of right now,
secret meeting,
the secret meeting that we all know that's happening.
That's right.
They have to be working through the exact discussion that we're having right now.
They're having to.
They're having it too. Now we happen to be doing ours a little less secret, but they're having the exact same discussion as to, what if we make this move? What if we stay with Joe? What if we do push for the 25th? How politically damaging are these moves, or what is going to be the way that we can survive this as best as we can?
This also could be them just meeting, swapping resumes to see where they're going to end up next. I'd like to ready for your
bake sale. Here's my plan.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to work for Salesforce.
I'm doing this casserole this weekend. What are y'all doing?
That's right. Morning Extra and Extra 106.3, 9 o'clock hours brought to you by Southern Exteriors, your Atlanta exterior solution. Been doing it for over 20 years, and they will take care of your home so well. 877-9-SOUTHERN is their number, 877-9-SOUTHERN, and southernexteriors.co is their website. The undeniable evidence that America has turned into a banana republic is all linked to the J6 political prisoners. Talk about that next. We'll hit the headlines, too, on Extra 106.3.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's the camera. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Is there any truth to the saying that better the devil you know than the devil you don't know? You know Trump. You know he's a big mouth. You also know he's decisive and loves America. The devil you know. Joe Biden? You don't even know who's yanking his chain right now. The devil you don't know. Think about it.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
So, Robert, I want to thank you for your time. I just don't think you're the right person for this position.
I don't understand. Was it something I said?
Well, we did a background check on you and found some things of concern.
If you're in charge of hiring for your company, you know how helpful a background screening can be. That's why companies that use Horizon background screening make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com. Horizonscreening.com.
You have enough to deal with after an accident. You don't want to spend a lot of that time messing around with insurance companies. Besides, what are you going to say to them? You really know the ins and outs? David Van Sant at Van Sant Law does. He used to work for the insurance companies. Their worst nightmare. He knows who to call, what to say, how to listen to them, and he has your best interest at heart. Van Sant Law, 855-GA-INJURY. VanSantLaw.com, 855-GA-INJURY.
Who says you have to wait until December to celebrate Christmas? Hi, I'm Jaron Solomon. Right now at Solomon Brothers Jewelers, we're celebrating Christmas in July in all of our locations in Buckhead, Alpharetta, and Sharpsburg. Stop in today and enjoy our 12 days of deals on everything in our stores. Surprise your special someone with a beautiful diamond tennis bracelet, earrings, ring, or necklace. And to make your purchase even easier, Solomon Brothers Jewelers is offering up to 60 months interest-free financing. That's 5 years to pay for that special gift, interest-free. And while you're at it, why not break out the tree, string up the lights, and pour yourself some eggnog? Make this a Christmas to remember with our 12 days of deals. Don't wait until December. Find some of the biggest savings of the year at Solomon Brothers Jewelers during our Christmas in July event. Visit us on Peachtree Road in Buckhead, Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta, and Fisher Road in Sharpsburg, and online at SolomonBrothers.com. Solomon Brothers Jewelers, now the preferred jeweler of the Atlanta Braves.
The EQE SUV electrifies the spirit, soul, and body of the Mercedes-Benz SUV. User-friendly technology meets thoughtful utility, thorough refinement, and earth-friendlier power. Satisfying for both drivers and passengers with innovations that only Mercedes-Benz can deliver. Experience the all-electric 2024 Mercedes-Benz EQE 350 SUV today. Lease one for just $759 per month for 36 months with $72.53 due at signing. Exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models. And visit today to see how to qualify. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta Sandy Springs through July 31st, 2024. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on Extra 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
This is Tucker Carlson, and you're listening to The Morning Extra with Tug, Rhino, and Los on Extra 106.3.
You do not want to miss the final segment of The Morning Extra.
No, you don't.
Holy smokes. We brought up the fact that we would trust the Kimmer 3 until 6 On Extra 106.3, way more than we would trust Joe Biden. He drives a Mustang Cobra that sounds like a damn NASCAR.
Wow.
He carries a Desert Eagle. He is a man of means, and he has a response. He sent us a recorded response, a video response to our assessment of him.
Yeah.
You have to catch that.
You're gonna check it out the last segment.
It's going to be
angry old man again.
Get ready.
Angry old man.
Get ready. Buckle up, as they would say. Buckle up, because his response is fantastic.
I love that, man.
You are going to love his response.
He's
to
so
our
much
comments.
fun.
He is such a cool dude, man. He's cooler than the other side of the pillow. Who used to say that? The dude at ESPN used to say that. Scott.
Stuart Scott.
Stuart Scott. There we go. And that's
I miss that dude.
Man, he was great.
He was a good
wasn't
dude.
He?
Yeah,
he was a
good
great
guy.
sportscaster for sure.
Oh my God, he cracks me up.
This is a topic that would get Kimmer riled up. No, I'm sorry, Bortz riled up. Because you know how he talks about tattoos and people with tattoos and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
Pimples, tattoos.
Pimples and
Well,
tattoos.
he turned on Jelly Roll because of his face tattoos.
Exactly, right. Which, I mean, look,
Cranky
they
old
look
man.
absurd. I get it. They do. Face tattoos look
Can
absurd.
I say this? Kimmer, way cooler than Neil Bortz. Like, I loved, and Neil Bortz, we've talked about, like, my, fanboy-isms of him and riding a roller coaster. He's one of my favorite people. He ain't cool.
And he admits it.
Maybe they're just a different version.
There's just different guys for sure.
Because Kimmer is the one where, let's just put it this way: if it's a night on the town, Kimmer.
Yeah.
If I want a great experience of getting access to something I would never have access to, Neil.
Yeah. No question.
Just different.
Yeah, so they're different guys.
True
for sure.
story.
Sarah Beth Clark is a TikTok influencer. Tens of thousands of dollars that she's spent on tattoos. She is now, like many other in Generation Z, old Gen Zers, that regret getting sleeves of tattoos, regret getting face tattoos, I'm sure, like Jelly Roll did. Listen to this. She is reflecting on all of this regret.
Imagine, if you will, that you put a shirt on once when you were in your 20s, and now you have to wear that for the rest of your life. And that is what it feels like to get heavily tattooed before you turn into a fully developed adult human. So I think if you asked almost anybody that's over 30, if they have a better idea of who they are in their 30s than they did in their 20s, they're going to be like, oh my God, yes. I have all of these tattoos that don't necessarily reflect who I am at 36. They might have reflected a moment in time in my 20s, maybe a moment in time that I was not doing so well mentally. And now I have adult problems. My aesthetic just does not match. No shade to the artists. Still get a ton of compliments on them. Just wish that they weren't on my body. I was told that I would regret my tattoos when I got older. I am older and I do regret my tattoos, and you might too.
I'm telling you, man, I got one. I regret it. I've considered having it lasered off.
Yeah.
It's just because it's so faded and old and looks so ridiculously bad.
I don't know what she looks like, or I don't know what her tattoos are. I understand where she's coming from, but you know what? There is two different people who get tattoos. People who want to map out their lives from when they're 20 and on, and those are memories that they'll always have, whether she likes them or not. There's also people who do this because it's the cool thing to do rather than actually loving the artwork that they put forward. So when they don't and they just do it because they want to be like everybody else, then yeah, because there's no meaning behind her tattoos, obviously. If there was true meaning, because many people do have true meaning behind their tattoos, I don't think she'd feel that way.
I feel like Tug is constantly, kind of measuring up himself to everybody else and pretty much putting the rest of us down.
Right.
This is the moment where I'm like, Tug cannot be buried in a Jewish cemetery. I can, though.
Yes,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I can't. I can't.
I got the old tattoo. I regret it every day.
Now, what?
My wife has
Talk
a tattoo.
about your tattoo.
She regrets hers. And I didn't get mine to be cool. I didn't. It was just a moment in time.
But what's it mean to
like
you?
She's describing. So I worked in the Navy. I got it when I was in the Navy. I got it in Rota, Spain. At Hung Tattoos, Hung Hung Tattoos.
Wow. It must have been awkward when that guy stood over your head doing your shoulder.
That's exactly right. He's
was it not a moment in time, though, that you okay?
It was, but now looking back, I'm just like that woman. And I didn't get sleeves. She has.
No, but what's the tattoo?
Sleeves.
Like, why did you choose that?
It's the sunshine. It's the sunshine. And it's that typical tribal 90s tattoo. I worked in a dark room in the Navy. It was the Combat Information Center, radar sweeping around, red phones, people communicating between ships and admirals and sometimes even DC. And I was like, I want to be outside sometimes. And I would work 12 hours inside that dark room. 5 hours on, 5 hours off, 7 hours on, 7 hours off. So 12-hour days working in the Combat Information Center. And I wanted to see the sun. And there would be days, sometimes weeks, that I would go without seeing the sunshine. I was like, well, I'll go get me a tattoo of sunshine.
Now, did you pick that out of a book and go, that's the kind of sunshine I like? Or did you go, hey, you do your thing, Hung?
No, Mr. Hung, I would.
Mr. Hungwell.
Yeah, right. It was something that he had drawn, and it's not unique to me. It turns out, I didn't even recognize it at the time. It's so embarrassing. I can't believe I'm admitting this. I don't think I've ever told anybody this. It's the outer band of the Alice in Chains inside the Alice in Chains record. Yeah, it's if you open up the album Dirt or the CD Dirt, the sunshine, the tribal sunshine. The difference is they took the AIC out of it and put like a pinwheel in. I was like, well, that's cool. I'll take that.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like that.
That's good. I like it. It looks
that's kind of the problem with people who I understand why you'd want that removed now. Like I don't feel like you shouldn't or should in any regard.
I need to get it removed.
My tattoo was something that I drew by myself.
Dude, where is it? I didn't even know you had a tattoo.
Oh, it's right here.
I had no idea. Look at there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So what I did was
I didn't even. Los, did you know he had that? I had no idea.
I lost a daughter. And I came up with the idea that she was my heart, even though I never got to know her. And when she flatlined, but I put her name that I wanted her name to be Vivian in a EKG.
So that's special.
That was to me.
That's special.
I will never regret that.
Yeah.
I'll have a lot more, and I'm going to continue to get them as soon as I figure out what I want to do. But I make them my own, and they're my story, and they will be, so I don't regret them. But people who don't bring it in, like, I can understand that, and she obviously fell into that trap. Yeah, this one meant
nothing, really.
Yeah.
There's no meaning. Like, yours, I get. And this lady, I kind of get hers because, I mean, she is like, from her neck all the way through her chest and down her shoulders and down her, I mean, she is a human doodle pad.
Yeah.
And I understand, and she's a pretty young woman. I'll show you. She's a pretty young woman.
Yeah.
And she's like, man, I wish I hadn't have done this when I was in my rebellious 20s and 30s, early 30s probably. And now she's like, I wish I had done things differently. I'm in a different place in life.
Depending on size and color.
They're everywhere, buddy.
Well, it's different for her.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying for you.
Oh, yeah.
Anywhere from $400 to $3,000, depending on just the size and color and everything else.
And I hear it hurts like the devil.
Oh, I'm sure.
Or, like, it hurts worse to get it taken off than it is to get on, because it wasn't bad to get put on.
I mean, I could get a pressure washer. We could see what we could do.
But I don't think that's
fun.
Maybe a cheese grater.
Yeah, cheese grater would be good.
No kidding,
it's just eat, Tug.
Look,
right?
Again, I'm going to bring this back to politics when it comes to like transitioning and everything else. I mean, I think at 25 years old, you start to really develop the idea of who you're going to become or where you want to go. And I don't know what year she started getting her tattoos, but I'd assume it was after 18. As soon as she became legal, she began this journey. And I don't think she, obviously she didn't make the right decisions on the tattoo she wanted. She kind of goes, hey, this is the cool thing to do. This is the fad. I'm going to run with it. And that's always a bad way to pick your tattoos.
Yeah, no doubt. Here. I can vouch for that statement that Rhino's made.
You and Jelly Roll.
Exactly.
Awesome.
I wish I'd have gotten the sunshine right square on my face.
Poor Joe got a sketch tattoo that he didn't tell us about that he's got to get removed. Yeah, right on his right butt cheek apparently, which is ironic.
Bad call on the sketch tattoo.
Buddy.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
Do you have any tattoos, Joe?
I don't.
You don't? Okay. What about you, Andrew? Intern Andrew?
No, but I have a list of ones I want.
There you go.
Wow, one, so it's multiple.
Yeah, I have multiple I want. I just don't have money to get them.
All right. So there was a player, and it's been a long enough time now. So Boston College had these two defensive tackles. They had B.J. Raji, who was taken in the top 5, and Ron Brace, who ended up going the second round to New England. And Ron Brace, the entire reason, in my opinion, why he was playing NFL football, and he told us as much, he wanted to be able to get tattoos. He said his dad didn't allow it, and that now that he had the money, we were like, what are you going to do with this NFL check? He's like, well, there's some tattoos I want. Now, He only played in the league like about 3 years before New England was like, hey, this guy really isn't about football. He was about getting them tattoos. And that's why he went.
You worked hard enough to get to the NFL just to get tattoos.
I'm telling you, sometimes.
That's resolve right there, man.
Sometimes, whatever motivates you, and it doesn't surprise me that Andrew, in his mind, he's thinking, when I make it, I'm going to get these tattoos.
If I make it like big, I'm getting a full sleeve and everything.
Yeah. See?
Are you serious?
Yep.
I would have never guessed, Andrew.
But that's not going to happen.
Like
so
if
I'm
you would have said, bet me $1 million. Like if we would have not talked to Andrew and turned to Andrew about this, and you would have said, bet me $1 million. He wouldn't get one tattoo. I would have said, yep, I'm taking that bet. Not going to get any tattoos. He's talking about sleeves in there.
Yeah, no, look, there has to be a lot of thought process behind this. Look, I love that everybody's kind of responding now. Goat Redneck Post showed me his picture. Girlfriend Erin sent her. She wrote no regrets, which is a joke because people who got tattoos. But she, everything means something to her. I mean, she developed that.
Yeah.
It's really funny, too, because she's someone who, when she pictures herself in her head, she sees herself as 20-year-old Erin without any tattoos.
Okay.
And now, it's very funny when you get tattoos, like how it messes with your mind. But, yeah, I mean, if you plan out what you want to do, I don't think there's going to be... When I get my sleeve, Carlos is going to love it. I can't tell everybody what I'm going to get or what I'm going to do because I don't want anyone stealing my idea. But it's going to be cool, and it's really thought out. And I'll be honest, I've been really planning this out for 2.5, 3 years before I even gotten it done.
Okay. All right.
Ron Brace ended up passing away like 8 years ago. This is the tattoo guy.
Tattoo poisoning.
Had a heart condition. I mean, he's a big dude.
Yeah.
He was a huge dude. He was drafted 40th overall. He was all ACC. And he ended up playing in the league for 4 years, which is the standard second-round contract, a 4-year deal. Guarantee it. That dude basically was like, I'm going to put in my 4 years, and I'm moving on with my life. And one of his motivators, just as you're hearing from Andrew, he wanted to get some tattoos.
It's amazing.
He's going to play NFL football so he can do tattoos.
So blown away by it. I knocked me over with a feather. Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. Doug, Rhino, and Lowe's.
He is the guy he's the guy who's like, yeah, I don't really drink. And then he's like, I get a full sleeve.
I'm getting a sleeve.
It's so
never going to
opposite.
happen, though, because I'm not going to make it like...
that's not true. I don't like your attitude. Your future is crazy bright, dude.
Yeah, I don't like your attitude.
You just need to be motivated to... Whatever.
More than just the tattoos.
Right. I will just tell you this, Andrew. So my goal when I was working initially in radio was if I can just get a 50-inch television. Okay? Now, that sounds pretty corny because now you get like a 50-inch television for like $200, but at the time, it was like $1,200, $1,400. You had to actually put some money aside. You had to do some things. And so when that finally happened, I thought I have totally made it. Now, it's just as flimsy as tattoos. I mean, obviously, tattoos are much more permanent than a TV. But whatever motivates you is what motivates you.
Yeah, look, I think you're fantastic. I loved having you here as an intern, and I'm glad that you're back today because we didn't even know.
We weren't sure yesterday if we were getting Andrew back.
Thought we were losing him.
I mean, he's been so good. I believe you, so don't say you're not going to make it because I believe you. Now, if you were Joe and said I'm not going to make it, I'd be like, you're right. You're right. Absolutely.
That's not true, Joe. We believe in you too.
I hate it here.
Every time Joe jumps on the Braves radio network and he has the power of 160 radio stations listening to everything he's doing, do you think about how flimsy he thinks about what the morning is? He's like, then I got to deal with those three stupid a-holes.
Boneheads.
No, this one's actually more fun.
Yeah, I can imagine so.
I have a lot more to do.
Yeah.
Braves, I just kind of go, boop.
Yeah.
Oh, good. When are you going to start doing that?
You're doing great. You're doing great, Joe.
You're doing great.
Yeah, just keep growing that mustache.
Yeah.
Morning Extra, Extra 106.3, 9 o'clock hour brought to you by Southern Exteriors, 8779 Southern, southernexteriors.co.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines. Presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. All
right, here are your top stories in the state of Georgia for today, Tuesday, July 9th. DeKalb County fire officials are currently at an apartment complex on Snapfinger Woods Drive investigating a fire that left one man dead. Investigators believe the fire started in a bedroom of the apartment. They found an elderly disabled man in his laundry room and rushed him to the hospital hospital where he later died. The cause of fire remains unknown. Hall County deputies are looking for 20-year-old Zachary Rutledge of Winder after he went swimming with his friends at haunted Lake Lanier. Rutledge went missing after his two friends lost sight of him at Burton Mill Park on Lake Lanier. Deputies say it's possible Rutledge swam back to the shore and left the park, but no one has heard from him. In sports, it took 11 innings for the Braves to secure a win against the Arizona Diamondbacks last night. Catcher Sean Murphy hit a game-tying home run in the ninth inning, and All-Star Marcell Ozuna drove in the game winner, giving the Braves a 5-4 victory. Charlie Morton will be on the mound for Game 2 tonight. The first pitch scheduled for 9:40. You can catch all the action on our sister station, 680 The Fan.
Earlier, we compared the Kimmer to Joe Biden, and we said that the Kimmer is much cooler, and he can do things that Joe Biden can't. And Kimmer had a response to it, and he sent it to us via video. We're going to play you the audio of that video. Get ready to laugh your tail off. I can't wait to play you what Kimmer sent us here on the Morning Extra. We'll do it next on Extra 1063.
From the latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust, your best new follow on social media is Extra 1063. We're at XTRA 1063 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events and so much more. Follow at Extra 1063 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
We ran into a roof leak at our house because of all the rain. It wasn't on the roof of our home, but it happened at our house. It was actually a roof leak on my son's Jeep. So we can't call Southern Exteriors for that. But our roof that is over our home, well taken care of. If you've ran into the issue, though, that we have before with a leak in the roof, it is the worst thing that can happen to your home. And with the rain that we had over the weekend and even some yesterday, maybe even get a little bit today, that roof leak can be the worst imaginable. It could do damage, irreparable damage to your home. They take it very, very seriously at Southern Exteriors. They understand the urgency of roof leaks, and they have prompt service. They've got skilled technicians who prioritize your safety and your comfort there at Southern Exteriors. If you've experienced this, if you have something like that's going on, reach out to them right away. Of course, they do all the other stuff too. Painting, siding, doors, windows, they do it all. Replace the roof altogether. But if you have a roof leak and you've noticed it because of all the rain that we've had, reach out to Southern Exteriors today. 8779-SOUTHERN, 8779-SOUTHERN. And the website is southernexteriors.co. That's southernexteriors.co.
Get ready. Diamonds Direct will forever change the way you shop for jewelry. With over 80 years experience in direct sourcing, Diamonds Direct is finally opening in Atlanta. Customers across the Southeast know Diamonds Direct for their unbeatable selection and prices, but return again and again because of their unparalleled customer experience. The experts at Diamonds Direct are your advocate in the dizzying world of diamonds, ensuring you are nothing shy of confident in your purchase. How do they do it? With the best selection, the best quality, and the best price. In fact, Diamonds Direct guarantees they won't just meet any local price, they'll beat it. So if you can dream it, Diamonds Direct can deliver it. Build your own engagement ring, tap into their custom design studio, or choose from hundreds of ready-to-wear styles. No other jeweler can maximize your budget like Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct, coming soon to Buckhead and ready to amaze Atlanta with the best selection, the best quality, the best price, and the best people guaranteed.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
When it comes to protecting your assets and ensuring peace of mind, trust the expertise of Nelson Eldercare Law. Our Absolute Protection Trust is designed to provide unparalleled asset protection. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com to discover how our specialized services can safeguard your family's future and assets, offering you the assurance you deserve. NelsonElderCareLaw.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station is always streaming live across Georgia on the Extra 106.3 app. Get the live stream and your favorite Extra podcast anywhere you go. Grab the Extra 106.3 app now for Apple or Android.
Doug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. Earlier, we talked about the Kimmer Show, which is 3 to 6 here on Extra. Only place you can hear that legendary voice of Kim, the Kimmer Peterson, is here on Extra. We were talking about Joe Biden just being incapable and how Kimmer is the exact opposite. Vibrant, drives a dadgum NASCAR to work every day. I mean, this thing, when he drives it through the Battery Atlanta, it sounds like you're at Atlanta Motor Speedway. I mean, it is unbelievable.
When it enters the garage, there's no doubt.
You know who's here. There's no doubt. Like if I drive up in my old pickup truck, sounds like an old pickup truck. Rhino drives in his pickup truck, sounds like a pickup truck. You drive in your SUV, sounds like an SUV.
Not like Kimmer.
Kimmer,
no.
And
sounds like.
We made the joke.
It's so true though
that Kimmer is able to drive around the Battery with, again, that NASCAR, and also shooting the Desert Eagle out of the roof if he wanted to.
If necessary,
he could do that.
If he was called to do it, that's what he would do.
Well, he gets mad sometimes when they put up the traffic cones because they're still building Truist, and they block an entrance here or there, and he shoots those big barrels. Like, he doesn't shoot at people, just at the barrels and knocks them down. It's great. It's fun.
I'm telling you, he's not afraid to brandish a weapon if he needs to.
He's old. He's smart.
We brought it up. We made the comparison. We told you what we thought. Kimmer happened to be listening at the exact time that we were talking about it, and he has a reply.
I was enjoying the boys talking this morning, comparing me to our current president, saying that he's a doddering old fool, and yet the Kimmer's the kind of guy who would take a fast car and go riding around carrying a 50 caliber Desert Eagle. Well, I'll be damned. There you go.
And he is.
Oops, he's holding it. I forgot. Sometimes I just take some of the boys out for a ride for kicks. And anyway, you can't be too well armed when you're driving in the Atlanta area. So sometimes it's the 50 caliber Mr. Smith and Mr. Wesson.
Oh my God!
Just to keep us all company. Well, anyway, boys, I got to go. You're killing me. Oh boy!
Give it a little love.
Boom, boom. He decides to show off the gun and the car.
Absolutely. It is the most Kimmer thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
It was the most beautiful thing. I brought a tear to my eye. I'm so proud of him. I'm so happy to know him and to know that that's exactly how he's driving around.
Mr. Smith and Mr. Wesson.
You need him on that wall.
That's exactly right.
He's a defender of safety in Atlanta.
Him and Jack Nicholson. Yeah. That's who you need right there.
Oh,
that's my favorite. The fact that's the thing. Like Joe Biden, somebody wrote his letter that said I'm staying in the race. He called in to Morning Joe yesterday, and it sounded like he was in his own bathroom. I mean, the echo, it sounded like he was on like a bad Zoom call.
You could hear him shuffling papers.
I know.
Just reading lines.
Kimmer ain't doing that. Kimmer is brandishing a weapon.
Yeah, I love it. Brandishing two weapons, not one.
That's right.
Oh, he's like Yosemite Sam out there.
Right.
He just rolls down the window.
Lifts himself up off the ground.
Oh, all I can picture now is him just like pulling that e-brake, spinning the car around.
That's right.
both guns out to the side of windows. Bah, 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 bah.
What movie was that? It sounds like a movie like The Matrix or something.
Yeah, like Train Spotting.
Yes, or something. Good Lord.
I would like to imagine that my version of Kimmer, that's the sort of thing he does on the weekend. Like he goes out in the country and just practices like his John Wick moves.
John Wick.
That's what he does. He's just like, he's like, what if I need to throw on the emergency brake and shoot out the side of my car?
Yeah,
let's
I need
work
to be
on this.
prepared.
I need to be prepared just in case.
It's so funny. Now I'm getting pictures. Girlfriend Erin, like with her gun in her car driving.
Oh,
and,
now
everybody's going to show us.
starting to send me
armed
like,
too.
Look, me too.
Send them to @Extra1063. That way we can also please tag all of us at Tug Coward, at Rhino Extra 1063, at Front Office Los, and at Joe Tom Version, so we can all see it.
Everyone's living the Kimmer life.
That's right. That's right. We need.
Y'all be like Kimmer.
Like some people have like Thug Life t-shirts. We need Kimmer Life t-shirts.
Yes.
I'm just telling you, man.
We go to our merchandising company.
That's right. Always armed, always ready to speed.
Yeah.
That's right. In my NASCAR. Gosh, I love it, dude.
So great.
Nobody's cooler than the Kimmer. Nobody on this station is cooler than the Kimmer.
But wouldn't it be cool? Like, I think that, Kimmer should do this for the station because some of the best, publicity is not always the greatest. I think he should get in a, cool high-speed chase.
Like
Except
today.
he respects the law too much.
Today,
Yeah.
I think today.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the people that do donuts.
Don't shoot or anything, but apologize later.
Maybe
But
shoot.
the news story would be great. Shoot up,
Or like at a concrete barrier or something.
That's true.
Just
I mean, as long as you're doing it through Atlanta, you're okay.
Yeah, I mean,
don't do it up by Windward.
How many of those people that do the donuts things? How many of those people ever get caught?
None.
It seems that it's rare that anybody ever gets
You
caught.
got to be in the city. And it's got to be like a random Sunday night at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Kimmer, you taking notes?
Yeah.
And then you can do it.
Oh, yeah?
I just want to see Kimmer in really cool sunglasses, a satin shirt, and then a girl with the flag in his car. The one that drops the flag to drag race.
I wonder if my mama could do that.
Like Fast and the Furious 27.
That's right.
Kimmer.
Do you imagine Kimmer drifting?
Yes.
Kimmer learned to drift.
Tokyo Drift.
He's so
Look, if he tried
exactly what I was thinking. Kimmer's just driving around with this song just blasting out of his windows.
The problem with Kimmer is he doesn't weigh enough, so it'd be like that Gravitron ride where he just stick to the side of the car.
He's got all this
Gravitron.
Yes. He's got all this Asian writing along the side of his car.
He has no idea what it is.
A bunch of Japanese girls he ordered.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, that's awful.
Yep. But see, that would totally work.
It would work.
He'd be my hero.
Kimmer, Atlanta drift champion.
Dude, he needs
wearing
to get out
yellow
there.
glasses. You got to wear the shooting glasses while he's doing
right.
it. Maybe a neck
Absolutely.
scarf.
Laser. He's got a laser sight on that bad boy. No question.
This is his jam. He's just pumping his fist out of the car. Yeah.
And then right after this, AC/DC Thunderstruck. or something by Creedence Clearwater Revival. Because isn't that what he uses? When his show comes out, like Fortunate Son.
So when he's drifting, he's got all the Harajuku music.
Yeah,
Isn't that
right.
what it's
That's
called?
right,
Yeah. And then when he slows down as he gets to the battery, AC/DC comes on.
Takes it down a notch.
And then as he eases into the parking lot getting ready for the show, he cranks up CCR.
When he stops drifting.
That's right. He just texted me. He said, F it, I'm in. And Tug's mama riding shotgun.
I love this idea.
I'm telling
in
you.
her bikini.
No.
Mama, I've obligated you to Kimmer.
In her ultra
It's-
right bikini.
That's right. And it's like, what is it? Arranged marriage.
Yeah.
Kind of like, we just, it's new to the, to my southern self, but we can arrange Mama's marriage to Kimmer. I think it'd be fine.
Just
I
chewing
think
gum.
She's
the one with the neck handkerchief, the
yeah,
pink
that's
one.
right. Absolutely.
Like
dropping
Pinky Tuscadera.
Yes, absolutely.
With a cigarette.
Yeah. She quit smoking a long time ago.
Well, no, she's got to bring it
not
back
anymore.
for this.
She's bringing it back.
So, I'm just saying. I don't know, man. I'll see if I can talk her into it.
All right.
She's retired from driving the school bus, so
That's it.
she's gonna have some time on her hands.
I'm so
Nice
happy.
little poodle skirt.
Yes, and she just ride around downtown
Yeah.
drifting in Atlanta with Kimmer.
It is so great.
Mama would love it. She's
I
an
love this
adventurer.
idea.
She's the one that my daddy is
She
funny.
grabs the gun and starts shooting out the top of the window.
I'm just wondering if Kimmer, as he's driving in or he's doing whatever he's doing right now, he's thinking to himself, "What is drifting?" and now he's gonna look into it and be like, "I bet I could do that."
That's right, absolutely. Because he can do anything. He's the Kimmer.
God, I hope he comes around the corner when we're leaving today drifting. Oh, it'd be so amazing.
Just getting sideards.
Yeah, just shooting the windows out at that new Truist
Love
Bank
it.
building.
Yeah, every one of them.
Every one of them. Yeah.
Like the SWAT team has to come and try to figure out.
You affected traffic enough.
SWAT team has to come in here and try to figure out what's going on.
Get out of the car, Mama.
Yeah.
We're here.
Yeah, that's right. Baby girl.
There you go. Slaps her right on the butt.
How you doing, girl?
Baby girl.
What's your name is, girl?
Gosh. I hope Kimmer gets an OnlyFans with Mama.
Well, no.
I'd pay for that
Come on, that's too much now. That's too much. Can't take it that far, Mama.
Worked for Sketch.
Yeah, it did. Totally did. I don't go into OnlyFans, so I guess I'm
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, that does it for us.
Just
Glad
feet
you're here.
shots.
That's right. For Rhino.
Mama feet.
Los and Andrew and Board Up Goey. I'm Tug. Y'all come back down here.
Hey, it's the Kimmer. Look out. The Kimmer Show is live every afternoon from 3 to 6, just like the Kimmer. Former Atlanta Mayor Keisha Bong Bottoms, who allowed the slaughter of the Wendy's and the burning and the killing, and the little baby got shot because of the gangbang. I mean, this woman is a freaking disgrace. God knows she wouldn't run for election and win anything back in Georgia, so they elevated her to the White House.